Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? Welcome to episode 207 of the It's Obvious podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Preston Pugh, and I am joined by my two best friends, GarrettDrake.
Reunited at last. It's good to have you back.
And Jacob Alka.
And it feels so good.
I'm back.
Well, it feels good to have Preston back.
There we go.
But we're in a really awkward situation here.
We are.
We are determined to continue video every week. And we have gone to desperate measures to squeeze into a tight space in my apartment. And Jacob's sitting on pillows in order to reach his mic. And
this seat is a lot shorter than it appears to be right now.
I'm sitting very upright like a scholar of sorts.
Doesn't that hurt your back?
That of which I am not. Actually, this relieves my back, believe it or not. I look ridiculous, but I'm much more comfortable like this. Enough for me, though. Everyone's been waiting to hear from Preston, especially us. It's been too long. Granted, I spent half my day with Preston. Miss him to bits already. But Preston, tell us. How are you? How you been? What you been up to? What you been playing? Tell us everything.
Oh, I'm great. I've been working and working some more and then working a little bit again, you know? But yeah, for real though, I've just been working a lot. That's about it. Nothing.
That's good,
but
nothing
you're
crazy.
alive and well. Everyone missed you terribly. I know I certainly did. Always knew you were well, but knew you were busier than I think I've ever been in my life. And that's saying a lot because I've been quite a busy bee.
You're pretty busy
in my day. But it's good to have you back. Good to have your voice back on the podcast, Preston. Just what else has been going on? Do you feel like sharing before we start talking about video games? Anything at all?
No.
You guys saw a movie today, right?
What'd you say?
We did.
Said you guys saw a movie today, right?
Yeah, we did. That's the first. Well, nope, that's a lie. I went and saw Spider-Man: Far From Home last weekend.
Oh, nice.
So I've seen two movies relatively close together. So that's the first time I've done that in a while. But yeah, we did go see a movie with each other. But needless to say, like I said,
it was a date of sorts, Jacob. Don't get upset about it. But he and I went out together, and we had popcorn, we had soda. We yelped a few times in the movie, of course, and we held hands naturally. It wasn't like a forced hand holding, as if like, oh, I kind of feel obliged because, you know, we're on a date and I don't want to feel like I dislike him. But it was like a natural, like, oh, I'm scared, hold my hand situation. But it doesn't mean anything. But he and I did have a really, really good time together.
You are a whore. I said it. You sit here and you spout these beautiful words to me every single week.
Right.
But then you go behind my back every single week. And you go on dates with Preston.
With Zach.
With Zach.
Yeah.
And who knows who else you've been on dates with.
Just those two, I swear, man.
I for one, mister, I'm done.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to put on a good show.
You're sipping my witch's brew down there.
Yeah. And it's okay.
How do you feel about it?
It's just
Jacob's
fine.
drinking black coffee for once.
Yeah, it's not the first time I've ever had black coffee, but it's probably, I can count them on two hands how many times I've had it.
Yeah, let me tell you this, Jacob. It's
okay.
I like it, but it's not what I would say an ideal cup of black coffee because it's pure espresso. I mean, it's basically ground potent dirt.
I can feel myself waking up more, though.
Yeah, and there's much better black coffee out there. But
I believe you.
I hope you're somewhat enjoying it, and I hope it's giving you the kick you need because it's certainly helping me.
It's better than just sipping on water, I guess.
That's great.
So I can thank you for that.
I also have some Gatorade. Naturally, we called our stuff Gatorade. And that's also pretty good. I'm using it as creamer, actually.
Oh,
creaming my coffee with
that's a great idea, man.
Yeah. Preston, how'd you feel about Crawl?
I thought it was good. It was just a good time.
Yeah, I'd say it was a fine flick.
So the movie's called Crawl, but it's about an alligator.
Right. I couldn't really figure out why. I mean, I guess alligators kind of crawl around, but the alligators are mostly swimming.
It's
in this
probably 90% of the movie took place in a crawl space.
In the basement, yeah, I figured.
Well, it wasn't a basement, it was a crawl space underneath the house.
Was this like?
I guess that's true. Yeah.
Is this like a big feature-length film? Like, is this like a big budget?
I wouldn't say it's huge.
I haven't really heard of it.
Probably a moderate budget, but it's a Sam Raimi produced film.
I can't remember
the director's name, but he's directed
solid.
a few horror films. Yeah, visual effects are pretty good, and gators look pretty spooky. Some good, gnarly gator action, that's for sure. A lot of jump scares, but a lot of effective ones. They're pretty good. And I like the simplicity of the movie. I like how it takes place all in one setting. And it's just about a daughter trying to rescue her injured father in this Hurricane Wendy, actually. It was a hurricane that was taking place in Florida. And real swampy. And house gets flooded, gators flood the neighborhood, and it's just pure chaos. And I think I kind of thought this subconsciously while we were watching it, but it's been described as like the Jaws of gator movies. There's been gator movies made in the past, but not really to the extent of what you could describe as like the Jaws version of gators.
So this wasn't like Anaconda, where it's like a voyage through the jungle.
No. It was in Florida in like a neighborhood. So
no, the entire movie takes place at this house. The entire movie. Okay. Well, for the most part. Not like 99% of the movie is at this one house where they're just trying to survive with these gators. But I told Garrett after the movie was over, this movie was pretty much just why the state of Florida sucks.
This is why you don't go there.
Wait, does Florida Man make an appearance in the movie?
Unfortunately, no. Oh. Yeah, he was absent. He would have saved the day, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's...
Who made an appearance?
How could you miss that?
Florida Man.
Oh, Florida Man?
Mm-hmm. Jacob's a big fan over here.
Oh, yeah.
Your Marauders map is fading.
I know.
Sad.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. It was never full to begin with because it was never filled to the top.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I really blew it for you there, didn't I?
I don't care that much.
I have an art history mug because I want people to think I'm cultured when I could tell you maybe one fact about art history. Good call.
That's a good way to avoid internet hate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So everyone will think I'm very educated.
Yeah. And it only matters what
I'm a
they
man
think
of the arts,
you are.
as you know.
It doesn't matter what you actually are.
So I'm getting a degree in coloring books, and I'm really excited about it. It's going to take me very far.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
Yeah. I got this mug in a time in the heat of my final art history class at SCAD. And there was a hot minute where I was genuinely interested by it. Not necessarily the art itself, and the art's cool, but also like the history surrounding the art and why this art was produced at this time and what kind of it meant and how different people interpreted it and everything. So I kind of got into it for a while. And at the time, there was a point where, because I was about to take my final in the class, I could name the artist in almost every piece that was on here. It's like, wow. And I was actually in a museum when I picked it up. I was like, I got to get this. I can name all this.
It actually is a really cool book.
I can't name any of this anymore. I know
what the art pieces are.
I know this is like Da Vinci right here. I know this is Venus.
I know this one very well.
Yeah.
That's Mary, right?
It's a cool mug, though. Anyway, that's entirely pointless.
You have a naked man on your glass there.
You got a problem with that, Jacob?
Yeah. So again, you're not focused on me, and I feel like you should be.
Well, Jacob, my mind's always on you, even if I am with another human being.
So you admit it?
Yeah. Everyone knows that. I can't ever shut up about you, Jacob. You infatuate me, you captivate me, and you inspire me.
I'd rather hear from Preston right now.
I would too, Preston. What else do you have to tell us aside from your thoughts on Crawl? Because we've all just been waiting to hear from you.
Besides that, I have nothing to say besides the games I played, I guess. That's the only fun thing I did. I imagine you
played a fair bit.
I did. I played a lot of things for a short amount of time. I'm just in a rut right now where I have no clue what I want to play. So I'll have like a hankering for something and I'll play it for a couple of hours and not want to touch it again. I think I bought Crash Nitro Kart the day it came out, and I really enjoyed that game a lot. I 100%ed the campaign or adventure mode of that, and I know everybody's said it already, but game is extremely challenging until you wrap your head around the mechanics of everything. Some of the boss battles are absolutely brutal and totally unfair, but it is what it is. So I did that for a few days, and once that was finished, I was in the mood for Crash Bandicoot-like things. So I went and picked up the Spyro trilogy and played about a couple of hours of the first game, and it was fun, but my crazy how there's like frame rate issues with that game on PS4. Like,
that's surprising. I don't recall encountering too many.
Dude, granted, I didn't download any patch or update or anything, so maybe that's fixed. But just the, off the disc version on PS4 Pro is awful. It just it bothered me tremendously. So hopefully the update for it fixes that, because it's, it looks very pretty, but it's not a demanding game, especially at like the 30 frames that it is at, to be stuttering and stuff like that. That's ridiculous if it's still like that. So I played that for a little bit. Then Bloodstained came out, and I played that for about 8 or 9 hours, a decent amount of that, and I really, really like that game. The only Castlevania game I've ever played and like completed with Dawn of Sorrow, and I'm definitely getting the same vibes from that game. So yeah, I'm really enjoying that. Same issue though, dude. There are some frame rate issues in that game that just blow my mind. Like how is this game not running flawlessly? It's like
what are you playing it on?
PS4.
Okay.
Like, oh no, not Switch. The Switch is, I know everybody knows it's trash.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, no, my uncle picked it up on Switch day one and did not read anything, and he's like a decent. I think he's actually gotten one of the endings, but yeah, he keeps telling me how it's just like it's so painful to go through it with all the issues that version has. But yeah, even on PS4, man, there's like a boss that the entire thing is like in like 10 frames per second, it feels like, and it's just crazy that just this 2.5D okay looking game is not running properly. So yeah, that's annoying, but it's still a really, really fun game, and I am enjoying it a lot, and I will finish it at some point. Technically, I have already finished it. I got the worst ending on accident because I fought this boss too early, so I need to go back and do other things. So I did that. I bought South Park Fractured But Whole. It was on sale for like $8. I have not played it yet. Then I bought a few more things for a couple of dollars on like the Steam Summer Sale. I don't even remember what I bought. But then I had a weird hankering for Far Cry 2. So I hopped into that and had a complete nostalgia like overload. It's been so long since I played that game on 360. But
that game's quite the sandbox.
Yeah, it's really cool, especially like the fire tech in that game was truly like amazing. It blew my mind back in the day. So it still has like this really this charm about it that I really like that Far Cry has not had. Granted, I like Far Cry, and I'll get to that in a second. New Far Cry, but Far Cry 2 definitely has a vibe about it that it does not have anymore.
Yeah, it's the malaria, man.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the vibe you're referring to. I will say it's such a small addition, but I always loved how your armory had all of your weapons physically on the walls of your armory, and you can go pick them off the wall. It was really cool.
Yep.
I always liked that a lot.
If that game had like an actual like a useful fast travel system, it would be so much better. So the fast travel system in it is awful. You can only like go to these bus stations, and you just have to like drive across the entire map. And if you pass an enemy camp, they will hunt you down to the ends of the earth to kill you. Yeah, like they will like drive off cliffs and stuff to chase you. It's freaking hilarious.
Insane. Which is kind of realistic when you think about it. And like, I feel like nowadays I might appreciate it a bit more, but I remember it driving us insane back in the day.
Yeah, and if
they just never stop.
Yeah, exactly. If there was just a better fast travel system, I think it would fix that. But still a cool game. I definitely will be dabbling in it. And it's actually on sale right now on Uplay for like $4.
Oh, I'm totally downloading that.
And
100%.
Far Cry New Dawn is half price at $20. And that's what I've been playing mostly. I think I've put about 13 hours in it. I think I'm on the final mission. But I'm enjoying that game a lot more than I thought I was going to. It's just more Far Cry, but I guess I'm kind of just in the mood for that right now. It's just satisfying gunplay. There's this new mechanic where the game takes place after Far Cry 5. Spoilers for Far Cry 5. A nuke goes off, and I know, and you come out of the bunker, and like nature has reclaimed everything. And there's this like homestead you're building up, and the game is like an RPG pretty much. Like enemies have levels and stuff. Your weaponry is classified or like segmented into different tiers of weapons, and I actually really, really like that. I like having like a gold tier weapon, and if you shoot just a common enemy, they go down in like one shot, so you can just mow dudes down. Whereas in Far Cry 5 or the other ones, you just everybody takes the same amount of hits unless they're armored and everything. So it feels different because of that. You can have more of like a power trip against lower level enemies and stuff. So I like that. I don't know if I want that a part of the main series going forward. But just for this spinoff game, I'm enjoying it a lot. Yeah, that's pretty much it for that. But like I said, I'm really having fun with it. I talked about this last night on stream. I purchased a Wii U. I know I'm crazy. It's coming in the mail tomorrow, but it's pretty much just a Zelda machine. I'm dying to play Twilight Princess and Wind Waker again, and I just don't see them releasing it on Switch anytime soon. So yeah, that's the reason. It's just my Zelda machine, and I really want to play Metroid Prime Trilogy. That is available on Wii. And again,
a part of me is jealous, Preston, because I kind of want to play those Zelda games. So
as do I.
Yeah,
that sounds like a lot of fun, actually.
Yeah, I'm very excited. That's probably what I'm going to be dedicating a majority of my time to until like Wolfenstein comes out. And even then, like I want to play through all of the Zeldas. Like I even ordered Skyward Sword, a Wii remote, and everything. Like I want to play through all of these Zelda games again. So especially Skyward Sword, because I've only played through that one time and I did not take my time in it. Or I did not take my time at all because I was trying to
Didn't you buy a Wii or something, then play through it and immediately return all of it within a week?
Yes, because my Wii bricked because I hacked it or jailbroke it, whatever the heck it's called. And I had to download an update to play Skyward Sword, so it bricked my Wii. So I went and bought one from GameStop, and I had a week to return it. So I like had a time limit to beat Skyward Sword, so I just rushed through it as fast as I could. So I know there's like controversy with the controls and everything, but from what I remember, I didn't really have too much of an issue with them. So I am looking forward to playing through that game again.
Did I actually have a Wii? So I should buy that game. Like, why wouldn't I?
Dude, you have a Twilight Princess. You can get that on Wii.
Dude, I should do that.
Yeah, the Wii controls are not too bad either. You pretty much just use it to like aim your arrows and stuff, and to attack you just like waggle your hand, but it feels fine.
I might do that.
You have any experience waggling your hand, Jacob?
Dude, you should stream. Excellent. You should stream that. That'd be awesome. I would
That'd
watch.
Be really good.
I would watch.
I'd love to watch that.
I would love to watch you play that game. I would watch.
I'd watch the VODs, I should say. You seem to stream when I'm unavailable, except for now. I could have joined you on a stream.
I could have streamed tonight, but here I am.
I'm glad you're here, Jacob. I think we're all glad you're here. I would heed Preston's advice on that. I would totally stream that if I were you. Granted, ask your community, of course, but he and I would certainly tune in.
Yeah, I don't know if that would.
Maybe I do a private stream for you guys.
Yeah.
Really, dude? Yeah. Dude, would you do it in the new?
I mean, yeah. Okay. It wouldn't be private.
How about you just dress up as Link?
Or I could be naked.
Or that. Something to consider.
It's your choice.
Anyway, Preston, I'm incredibly green with jealous rage at that opportunity you have. Because that's really exciting.
Well, yeah, if anybody wants to buy a Wii U, GameStop's got them marked down to like $108 right now. So get after it.
How much do you think they'd give it?
Get in there.
If you like sold one to them, how much do you think they'd give you? Like maybe $10?
If probably $15 or $20, probably. Yeah. But yeah, that and Metroid Prime Trilogy. Again, it's rumored to come to Switch, but I'm just sick of waiting. And I really enjoy using the Wii Remote to aim and stuff on Metroid Prime. So I will be playing it on there. And as far as that's it for games. That's all I did.
Man.
Well, you played Apex with us last night.
Yes. I don't know if I would consider that playing. I tagged along for Apex, and
that's basically what I did.
Shot at some people.
We didn't do that bad, guys.
I enjoyed it.
I had fun.
I enjoy Apex. I think it's great. I just don't play it a lot, but I have a lot of fun when I do.
Likewise. Yeah, I played Apex on 2 platforms this week. Apex? Played on 2 platforms this week. I almost said 360. Xbox One and PC.
Might as well be the 360.
I'm oddly enough, I'm not even good on PC, but I'm better on PC than I am on Xbox. I'll tell you that much. Aiming with my thumbs, man, is a disaster. I did
forget one thing that I did play a ton of. Like I can't believe I forgot about this. Dragon Age Inquisition.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I played like over 20 hours of that. I don't have the urge to play it anymore, but for like 3 days, man, I played it all day. Like that's all I did was play Dragon Age.
Were you playing on the hard difficulty like you did the first time?
No. I just played on normal. So I could actually enjoy it. but I don't know, maybe I'll go back to it one day. I love Dragon Age Origins and Dragon Age 2. Even Dragon Age 2 I really enjoy, so I feel like I owe it to myself to beat 3. But man, I was looking at like playthroughs of the first 2, especially Origins, and man, it just has this charm that I just love, and Dragon Age 3 just doesn't have it. You know, it's like in the art style and the story and like the characters as of now, I just don't have the same feeling about it as I had against.
It feels a little sloppy compared to like. It still shocks me that it won Game of the Year, but at the same time, it doesn't really, because there weren't a lot of great games that year.
Yeah,
it was a weird year because it was the new consoles.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like the open world in 3. It's just like it's very. The story is just kind of.
It feels like artificial almost.
Yeah, the Dragon Age Origins isn't. It's kind of linear. It's like fake open world, and kind of like how Mass Effect 1 through 3 was. It's like a fake open world. It gives the illusion of you having, but once you get somewhere, you're going through levels, which is what Origins and 2 were. And I just really like that for these type of games. It just helps the storytelling so much. In Dragon Age 3, it's like it's just side mission city, dude.
Yeah.
Just so many. And then you finally do like a main quest, and the story is just so generic right now. It's like there's this bad dude who's like opened these rifts, and he's bad, and he's back, and
it doesn't get much better.
He's ready to destroy shit. So that's like pretty much it. And like I said, none of the companions I'm really into right now, besides like Varric, but he was in the second one, so I like already know him.
Which one's Varric?
He's the dwarf with his crossbow, Bianca.
I remember the big buff guy. He had like horns, maybe.
Yeah, Iron Bull.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought
about having a relationship with that man.
But yes. I never have him in my party. So I played that. Who knows if I'll go back to it? Probably, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe we'll see. But then I played for like 3 nights occasionally Madden 19 with the college football mod on it. And the mod's freaking awesome. It turned 25, or there's like 25 or 27 NFL teams. I forget. I'm not too into NFL. But it turned them into college teams with like entire rosters. They changed the rules to fit college football and everything. The game like feels faster and stuff. There's like a mod that came with it that improves on the gameplay. And I had a lot of fun with that, just kind of like playing out some games that are happening this season. And dude, I was just playing one game the other night, and it's like the game didn't want me to win. Like it refused to let me. It's like everything was not going my way. I had this massive comeback, and the team I was playing, I could tell. I was like, they have not played this good offensively the entire game, and that's when it hit me that I didn't want to play it anymore because it cheated. Because I don't know, sports games like that always kind of like I question if they're actually fair or not. Yeah. Because like I said, I just feel like the computer is just like, you know what? It'd be really cool if this team had a comeback right now. And it's just like they were catching literally everything and I couldn't do anything. So that pissed me off so much. So I stopped playing that. But that is officially what I did. So that's it. That's what happened.
And I'm pretty sure there are 30 NFL teams, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Just so we're clear.
Sorry, man.
That's what really stuck out to me in that whole.
Didn't mean to offend
spiel you just gave.
Would you be willing to bet your life that there's 30?
Oh no. I know for a fact in baseball there's 30.
I've been watching the Braves some.
I have been too. Yeah, they're like a lot. Like I'll just have it on, or walk by and it's on.
They're pretty fun to watch.
Doing pretty well.
Yeah. And
it's hard for me to really, sit down and watch a baseball game anymore. They just take so long and there's so much dead time.
I hear you. There are 32 NFL teams.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So, glad I didn't bet my life on that.
Yeah. Good thing.
I'd be dead. Well, that's great, man. It seems like you're playing a ton.
I'm really not. A majority of that time was I had like 2 or 3 days off. But there were 2 work weeks where I had like 96 hours. So in those weeks, I work and then I go to sleep and then I wake up and then I work again and then I go to sleep. And it was like that for like, I think I worked 9 days in a row at some point before a day off.
Yeah.
So
it's brutal.
Yeah, it was not fun, but
like even on the weekends, you're slaving away.
Well, yeah, the weekend before July 4th, we really wanted to go home on July 4th. So we were just like, hey man, like let's go home Monday. Like we typically don't work Sunday. So we were just like, dude, let's just suck it up and work Sunday so we can go home Monday. Well, we ended up working Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday and Wednesday instead of just the Sunday. So it's like if you give an inch, they'll take a mile,
Yeah.
But it is what it is. I should have definitely a decent amount of time doing smaller things before my next massive project. But anywho, enough about work. I've endured enough work the past month. So,
Preston, let us not forget you and I dabbled in A Way Out last night.
We did. I forgot about that.
It was a good time. We still have much more to play, but I thought our cooperative efforts were pretty cool. I thought we did a great job. I failed on multiple occasions on trying to escape prison, but we managed to get out of prison, and we were in the wilderness ready to take on the big bad world together. So it's been fun.
Who played as who?
I am the man with the goatee. Preston is the man with the fabulous sideburns and rather beak-like nose, not unlike mine in real life. And we are partners in crime, literally. And it's a very unique co-op experience. We've just scratched the surface too. Based on trailers I've seen, I know there's much more unique gameplay experiences to be had. And I like how it's constantly split screen and how you guys can cooperate, or how we can cooperate to tackle objectives and solve, I guess, not really puzzles, but puzzle-esque gameplay situations. Like, how are we going to get this door open? Or how are we going to get this wrench through this air vent to break open this thing and stuff? So
yeah.
I've liked it a lot so far.
Did you catch yourself ever saying, fuck the Oscars?
Yeah.
I did say that.
Yeah, as soon as they flashed the game director's name on the screen, immediately.
Yeah, probably the funnest part last night was there was this sequence where we were trying to break an air vent out of our rooms, and one person had to watch guard to see if any guards were coming, while the other person was like unscrewing some screws or like breaking open this vent. And once one of us did it, we had to like throw the tool over to the other cell, and that guy had to watch out for guards and stuff. And it was pretty cool. I don't know if that made sense at all. But,
no, yeah, it does.
Okay.
Yeah. I was the one that, of course, was caught multiple times. Yeah. I'm an idiot.
The guard
I overestimated how quickly they were moving.
The guard would come up to Garrett. He never did it to me. He'd be like, "Hey, go to sleep." And Garrett's got to be like, "Hey, man, I'm trying to piss."
Yeah. So, really fun so far. I'm excited to play more of it.
Yeah, for sure.
What else you got going on? Anything else you want to share? Game-wise, if you let us know all the games you've been playing.
That's all I've been playing. Looking forward to this holiday season. Super stoked for Control, Outer Worlds, Fallen Order, Modern Warfare. Amen. Especially Modern Warfare, man. That multiplayer reveal got me all riled up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I wanted the three of us to discuss that at some point in this podcast, because I am just that game mode alone. I am so excited for.
Let's talk about it now.
You want to talk about it now?
Yeah.
All right, Preston, let's hear from you first, as we haven't heard from you hardly at all in the last several months. Tell us how you feel about Gunfight in particular with Modern Warfare, and just how you feel about how the gameplay looks in general so far.
I think my biggest take was just how it looks. It looks like just the art style. It looks like they're going for a more realistic look. I think this is the first Call of Duty on like a new engine or something. Is that true? Okay, I
believe so.
That's true.
Okay, I could be pulling it out of my butt, but I swear I thought I read that somewhere. Forgive me if I am incorrect.
It reminds me a little bit of Siege.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, with the leaning, and there's two different styles of sprint and everything.
Yeah. But it seems a lot more like, more. It's still Call of Duty.
Yeah,
and it looks a little more slowed down too, which I personally am up for.
Yeah, that's what was crazy, is that it still looks like Call of Duty, like the jumping around and stuff. So that was really cool. But yeah, just the art style alone, it looks really cool. It looks like the guns actually have a decent amount of recoil now. Mm-hmm. So that's exciting. And the game mode itself just seems really cool. They're just super fast. You don't have any regenerating health. I just think it'll be I don't know, it just looks like a really fun, creative game type. And I know that there is, I watched like an IGN video or something, and the people that went to a preview event, they saw that game mode, and then there's another one that is also pretty original that they are very excited about, that it hasn't been revealed yet. So that has me excited also.
Yeah. I can only imagine if I'm already this excited about Gunfight and they're keeping the other one under wraps still, it's got to be something really awesome if they're not ready to talk about it yet. Yeah. But in case anyone out there who doesn't know what the game mode Gunfight actually is, just to reiterate it, it is 2-on-2 on maps built exclusively for this game mode, small enough to have these 2-on-2 encounters, 40-second rounds, and obviously whichever team kills the other first wins the round.
I think if the time expires, it spawns like a flag in the middle.
Yeah, if neither team kills the other within 40 seconds, a flag spawns the dead center of the map, and whichever teammate from whichever team can stand next to that flag. I think it's only 2 whole seconds, maybe it's 3 whole seconds. Between 2 and 3 whole seconds wins the round if you don't kill the other team.
Yeah, and so you got to book it.
An added layer is every time you spawn, you have completely randomized loadouts without perks too. It's just purely, that's why it's called Gunfight. It's purely just gun-on-gun action. I think it's awesome. And it reminds me of just good old, it's not team tactical, of course, but me and Preston and Preston's uncle used to love 3-on-3 Modern Warfare team tactical. And this is like an added layer to that in the sense that it's even far more competitive than that, where it's super short rounds, small maps, like constantly having encounters. And you and I were talking about before we started the podcast, this is prime for streaming because it's just constant action. It's highly competitive. Sure. You're constantly in and out of rounds. Whereas, I mean, Battle Royale is also a lot of fun to watch when people stream, but obviously you like waiting in between rounds. And if you die, you got to go in and gather all your loot again. As far as like watching like FPS action on stream, like this is going to be like super popular.
I think you're right, because it kind of feeds into the same kind of filter, I feel like, because Battle Royales, it's never the same every time. Like, you're always finding new guns or you're at a new spot. This game, you're at a different map not every round, but every, game. Mm-hmm. And you're always having the different random, weapons you get that game. Yeah. So it's just cool to see that randomness, and it's kind of the same thing as a VR in a way.
Totally. And I get the feeling that there probably won't be a Battle Royale in this Call of Duty. I don't know if they've openly said that, but
I've heard rumors that there will be.
Really?
But I don't know.
I can see Treyarch. I mean, not it's really up to Treyarch, but I can see it really like bottlenecking Black Ops' player base when a lot of people still do love Blackout even after Apex came out.
You should see the new update in Blackout though. Like they made the map all gloomy and dark, and it looks really it looks depressing, dude.
Oh, okay.
Like, do you remember the map at all?
Yeah.
Like it's just like it's covered in clouds. Mm-hmm. Like it's gloomy. The water's red for some reason.
Interesting.
I think there's like some zombie update they did. It looks weird though.
I will say I'm a sucker for, as everyone knows, like small details in games, especially when it comes to physics. And there are new death animations, thank the Lord, in this Call of Duty. Because death animations have never been bad in Call of Duty. They've just been the same for the most part since Call of Duty 4. And
that bothers you?
And there have been some new ones here and there, but it's the monotony of seeing the same death animations for however many years it's been.
Let me spice this conversation up a little bit. I was looking into seeing if there was a Battle Royale mode rumored or anything for Modern Warfare, and the only thing I found was an article posted. I'm kind of comparing these to make sure that this is not completely crazy. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I've seen two.
I thought I saw from it might have been something on Reddit.
Yeah. There's 2 different sites reporting on this leak, so take this with a grain of salt. But if this is real, how would you guys feel about this? So, sorry, give me 1 second. Okay, here it is. All right. This leak is about Spec Ops, the Spec Ops mode. So apparently Spec Ops will take place in an open world of some kind, with players able to explore and accept missions with their co-op partner at their leisure. The open world will have over 80 missions for co-op partners to play through, as well as some familiar faces like Captain Price. Apparently, the Spec Ops open world will actually feature some elements of a Battle Royale game as well, with players dropping into the map from a gunship and collecting equipment by searching through the map. Players can earn money by participating in Spec Ops missions, which will carry over to the other game modes.
Interesting.
Then they're speculating that the Spec Ops mode might actually be free to play and won't require players to own the full game. And then they're saying that Modern Warfare Battle Royale mode may be a free to play game and will share the map with Spec Ops. I don't know, a lot of what ifs there.
Yeah, this is what I heard. I heard there was going to be like a Modern Warfare like Battle Royale. Not necessarily like even like it might have been the old one too, like based on the old like version of Modern Warfare.
Huh.
I don't know.
Interesting. The Spec Ops stuff sounds interesting.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
So is it like you're dropping into a map and you're doing missions?
I guess.
I'm kind of confused by that description.
I mean, it sounds just like an open world you run around and do missions in. But like, what are the reason I like Spec Ops a lot in the older games though is it would put you in these really crazy situations, like levels with like only having to use certain amount of weapons or having time periods or take down a crazy amount of enemies. Like it had cool variety, and I don't know if you'll be able to like do the same thing if you're just like in an open world. I don't know.
Yeah,
sounds interesting. I mean, at the end of the day, all that stuff is really cool, but I'm mainly excited for the single player campaign.
Yeah, me too. I have high hopes in this one.
Yeah, and just
I
the
like
regular
Infinite Warfare a lot.
Yeah, I think we've talked about it a ton on here, how we all love Infinite Warfare. So, yeah, I'm definitely excited. Super, super excited for the campaign mode. And just kind of, I just like the regular multiplayer mode, too. Like, I enjoyed the regular multiplayer mode of Black Ops 4 more than Battle Royale. I think I just kind of enjoy that drop in, drop out, shoot people, and leave type of thing. And I just kind of like fast-paced stuff, as opposed to, Battle Royale. It's like if you are determined to win and stuff, that's an investment once you start a match and everything. So
sure.
But yeah, that stuff sounds rad. Looking forward to August 1st to see an actual reveal of more of the multiplayer stuff. So I'm sure if this stuff is true, we'll know by then.
Yes, we will. I'm very excited, and to see what they're doing with the campaign as well.
I'm trying not to get my hopes up too much. I don't know. I'm starting to feel that Call of Duty burnout.
I'm stoked. I'm very excited.
I'm excited for the campaign though, for sure. I
feel very, very confident in the single player campaign. I think it's going to be good. If
this is Infinity Ward again, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I think I had a good feeling about it as well.
Yeah, especially after. I mean, I can't remember. Even Ghosts had a really cool campaign.
Yeah,
like Infinity Ward just knows what to do, especially with those like old or the Naughty Dog guys who are on board now. Like,
I hope they've stuck around. Are they still there?
Yes, they're still there.
Awesome.
So besides the villain in Infinite Warfare, everything else with that was super good. Yeah.
And I thought about that. I mean, if they can tell that effective of a story in a fanatical space odyssey, essentially, imagine what they can tell in like a grounded setting like Modern Warfare.
Yes. Oh yeah, wasn't Kit Harington the villain?
He was, yeah.
Dude, if a Call of Duty game can almost make me shed a tear at the end, then that is powerful.
It was, man. I almost want to play through it again just because of that.
Dude, I would, I actually might do that before this one comes out for sure.
I remember like really, really enjoying that campaign gameplay wise. Like a lot of the space missions were, I mean, I was mostly in space, but I loved I always have memories of that stealthy asteroid belt mission where you're sneaking through asteroids, taking guys out in space. It was so cool.
Yeah.
So
super cool game.
Great characters too.
Oh yeah, dude. What's his Ethan, the robot? I think his name
Ethan was great. I even like Salt, like the female character. She was cool too. So I'm super excited.
Yeah, I'm going to look into that. That's like short enough to where I would actually just like to kind of run through that again.
Definitely.
Sounds awesome.
Well, Jacob, what have you been playing, man? What are you excited for?
What do you want me to answer first?
What have you been playing? We need a jingle for that too.
For what?
What you been playing?
Doo da.
A shooby dooby dooby baby.
That was good.
What you been playing?
Nothing exciting, man. Still playing Octopath. I kind of ranted a little bit to you guys last night about it. It's become very grindy towards the end game because every time you go into a mission, it has like a recommended level, right? And if you're not around that level by the time you're fighting the boss, you're probably not going to beat it because the boss is like, obviously the higher up or the farther you get into the game, the more damage they're doing. So you need to kind of have your level scaled to a certain extent. And because of that, it becomes kind of grindy and monotonous just because I'm having to just grind in this cave before I approach the boss where the cutscene happens just to make sure I don't die and have to like waste 20 minutes, trying to attempt this boss fight, then die. Then it takes me back to my last checkpoint. And then I have to, attempt it again because the boss battles can actually be kind of lengthy in this game. But I don't want that to take away from, other aspects that I do enjoy about the game, which are, obviously the art and the combat itself is intriguing and it keeps my attention. There's just like little small things like that kind of take away from it. And I hope that they're going to address in the next one because they have announced that there's going to be a sequel. Preston, do you ever intend on picking that game back up, you think? Octopath?
No.
I'm curious.
No.
I understand that.
No.
And another thing about it is that while all the 8 different stories, while they're all kind of, they're intriguing, they all lack obviously they lack depth because they each only have 4 chapters and there's 8 of them. So it's hard to really keep track of each one, let alone, remember what happened in each one because you're kind of just like jumping, because you don't just do one at a time. Like you don't just like start with Alfric, whatever his name is, and do all 4 of his chapters. No, you jump in, you do like each one of their chapter 3s, then you do each one of their chapter 4s, right? So you're kind of, I dropped my phone. Because you're kind of just jumping around all the time, so it's kind of weird like that. But I still really enjoy the game, and it's fine. It's good for a time right now where I don't really have a whole lot to play besides Apex. And speaking of Apex, that's the only other thing I've been playing. Just been streaming that a little bit, trying to play through that ranked mode, see how high I can get. Working through the battle pass, get some cool new cosmetics. Just unlock the Prince of Darkness skin.
Sounds pretty rad
for Caustic. He's like a little. I don't know. He looks like a witch doctor or some shit. Looks pretty cool.
Nice.
So I'll be playing a little more of him. But it was fun playing with you guys last night.
It was great, man.
Actually, a lot of fun.
I did not contribute to any victory, but it was fun nonetheless.
It's just fun because, we never get to play anything together. Mm-hmm. So
I got time this week, man. We should take advantage of it. Sure. I'll play with you as much as you'd like.
I'll be on a little bit tomorrow and then a little bit. Well, I'll be on a lot Thursday. Thursday night I'll be on.
Awesome.
So if you want to hop on then.
I would love to.
Unless you're working.
Nope. I'm off till Friday, I think.
Oh,
so I got a lot of time this week.
Let's do it.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I don't really have too much more to say about games than that. I've started watching Stranger Things season 2. Mm-hmm. I'm a season behind.
Yeah,
but it's good. I remember the show being good, and it's still good. Mm-hmm. Shocker. I'm not going to talk about spoilers. I kind of wanted to bring something up, but I probably shouldn't. There's probably people out there who haven't caught up. Like
Preston's one of them. He's also on season 2.
Preston, you should watch season 2. It's good.
Okay.
Really good.
All right.
What else? I think. I finished Spider-Verse. I don't think I had talked about it since. I think
First time seeing it, right?
Yeah, I think I'd started it when we last spoke, maybe, but now I finished it, and it's really good.
Mm-hmm. I love that movie. I want to see more from. That style of Spider-Man 100%. For sure. And I hope Phil Lord and Chris Miller return for the sequel as well. I would assume so because they had so much success with that and so many people loved it. I don't know why they wouldn't continue that themselves.
Yeah, I really love the soundtrack too.
Awesome,
it's like
soundtrack.
A lot of memorable songs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
great story.
Art style is fantastic.
Incredible art style. Yeah, amazing.
Didn't it win a? Was it a Grammy?
It won Best Animated Feature at the Oscars.
That's awesome.
Deservingly so. It beat out Incredibles 2. Incredibles 2 is really good, but I thought Spider-Verse, as far as like originality and taking a big risk with the style of animation in particular. And that's the thing. It could have just been a beautiful film with like a mediocre story, but the story was really effective. All the characters were thoroughly entertaining and well developed, and get invested in the story. And then on top of that, it's just absolutely breathtaking to watch. Yeah. So, and like you said, great soundtrack too. I mean, all around it was just awesome. Mm-hmm. So that it was very deserving that I'm so glad it won.
Yeah.
So
I wrapped
big
up
for Sony too.
Oh, 100%. If you beat Disney, that's enough. Let alone the award. I finished Attack on Titan season 3.
I need to catch up on that. What'd you watch it on?
Dude, Crunchyroll.
Okay.
I can't remember what season I'm even on. in that
Dude,
show.
guys, you need to catch up.
No,
the
I
show
know.
It's so good.
I know.
Yeah.
Don't spoil it.
I won't, dude.
I guess
Ellen Yeager.
I forgot so bad like what season I'm on.
Yeah, you need to figure that out.
I'm definitely on season 3.
Yeah.
I distinctly remember watching season 2. I remember everything that happens too.
I'm on. Wasn't there a break in season 3? Like a first part? I think there was like a half of.
It is a very long
breaks.
season.
I hate breaks mid-season shows.
The season's longer than you'd expect it to be.
Yeah.
It's like 20 episodes or something.
Yeah, I need to look into.
I started One Punch Man season 2.
Ooh.
What do you think?
Preston told me it's pretty good.
Everyone in our Discord says it's awful.
And Preston said he thought it was pretty decent.
It's good. I don't know how you could watch it and be like it's awful.
I can already see like in the first episode alone, the animation is lackluster in comparison to the first season. But as far as like the entertainment value, I still think it's really good. Like Preston said, granted, I've only seen the first episode, but I really like the first episode a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like
maybe I give it a shot.
It's fine. Why does everything?
I think it's easy to feel like it sucks in terms of at least the visual aspect. I can see why someone would feel that way because it is a drastic downgrade from the animation of the first season.
For sure. Is it better than the first season? No, it's not. But it's fine. Like it's not like it's not the worst thing of all time. It's not. I didn't want to gouge my eyes out after I watched it. Like it's entertaining. I actually have laughed more in this season than I did the first. And that's kind of why I even like the first one is just it was funny.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. The whole show is a joke. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I think it's fine.
That's why it's good.
I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe I'll watch it next.
Everything has to be the worst thing ever or the best thing ever. There can't be a medium, like a middle ground anymore.
Mm-hmm. I get that. Yeah. I won't write it off. I'll watch it sometime.
Yeah. If you enjoyed the first season, I'd watch it.
Yeah, I will for sure. I finished Rising of the Shield Hero, I guess season 1, I guess it is.
Uh-huh.
That show's good too. I mean, I enjoyed Attack on Titan season 3 a little more, but I definitely have high hopes for the rest of Rising of the Shield Hero. I'm really glad that Kyle from our Discord, recommended the show to us because I love the show and I'm kind of sad that there's no more episodes. I want to see more, but we'll have to wait a little bit. But I think that's everything that I've kind of consumed lately. Again, we saw Spider-Man, Far From Home, me and Garrett a couple weeks ago.
Hell of a time it was.
It was. But I think that's it for me.
Mm-hmm.
Garrett, have you gone yet?
Preston, we haven't heard your thoughts on Far From Home.
I liked it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Thank you for sharing. Is there anything in particular that sticks out from you that, like, whether it be story or characters or like an action sequence that you really thought was awesome?
I mean, just Jake Gyllenhaal's awesome.
Everyone says that.
He is great.
I really like Tom Holland. I really like Zendaya's MJ. This movie, in the first one, I was kind of like, at the end, like the twist of her being MJ, I was like, oh, okay, whatever. But this movie made me really like her as MJ.
Yeah.
So
I like it too.
That was cool. And the whole after credit stuff was really awesome.
I second the notion completely.
Being vague
I
about
of course
it,
jumped into Spider-Man PS4. God bless Insomniac for developing that game because it is exactly what I've always needed after seeing a Spider-Man movie. And prior to Far From Home, it did not exist. And it is great to just come home and swing around for a little bit. I'm even willing to play all the way through that game again at some point when I have nothing else to play. And I have plenty to play right now. Speaking of which, it kind of dawned on me while we were sitting here. Of course, I have, I'd love to play Resident Evil again. I have Devil May Cry to play. I have Rage 2 to play. But I totally forgot that I still have Metro Exodus to finish. I only played like the first hour of that game. And I really like that franchise. I know people aren't totally on fire about it, at least in terms of reviews, but I really liked just the bit I played. And I'm kind of in the mood for like a dreary, horrific experience at the moment. And I think that's why I was attracted to Days Gone for a while, even though people were pretty middle of the road about that game as well. But I really, really like Metro and the gameplay aspects in that third one. So I think I'm going to jump back into that at some point soon. So I just wanted to throw that out there. I'm pretty excited about it now that I think about it.
Yeah, go for it. I beat Rage 2. I think I told you that. So I beat that. And that's a fun game. The gameplay's fun. That's it. The story's ass. And pretty much everything but the gameplay is just ass in that game. But I still had a good time. The ending really irritated me. It just like ends, dude. The boss fight is super anticlimactic. The game just ends, and it stuck me in this room, and I got stuck in the room, and I was like, all right, well, I guess that was it for this game. But yeah, it's cool to just go shoot crap and blow stuff up and jump around and stuff. But yeah, that's what it is.
I'll probably finish that at some point too. I actually played that for roughly 30 minutes the other day on PS4. I don't have it on PC yet, but I ran around and cleared a base, decapitated. I turned on cheats too because I don't really care about trophies. I thought it was cool that cheats were available from the start in the game, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, dabbled in that. I also played Apex, like I said, on 2 different platforms. I was awful on Xbox One. I played with Zach a bit this morning. But it feels good on console. I'm just really bad at it. Did not perform well on PC, but I forgot just how good that game feels. I've always known it felt good, but when you really get back into it, even if you suck like I do, you can still get the feel for it. And it's just so much fun. So I definitely want to play more of that with you guys. I played a lot of Halo 3, OG Halo 3 on Xbox One. That was fun as always.
Also with Zach, right?
Yep. Played a little Halo 5 today, and I'm so obsessed with Halo 3 that all I played was the Halo 3 throwback ranked playlist on Halo 5.
That's funny.
But Halo 5 was pretty fun too. Played Master Chief Collection, a lot of Halo this week. What else did I play? Max Payne 3. Been dabbling in Max Payne 3 again. Mm. Just randomly in the mood for that. I think it was like $6 on Steam. That's a great photo, Jacob. Thank you for sharing. What else did I play? What am I forgetting? I downloaded My Friend Pedro on Switch, but I left my Switch in the airplane on the way to LA. I meant to tell you that. It's gone, man.
You lost your Switch?
Yes, it's long gone. I even submitted like a lost item report to Delta, and they haven't found it. So it's definitely gone.
You lost your Zelda file.
Yep, it's over. So it's not the end of the world. I mean, I rarely played it anyway.
Hey, you can get the new Switch Lite.
I thought about that. I was like, it's funny. I saw the Switch Lite. I'm like, I don't need that, but a part of me wants it.
When do you ever put it on the dock anyway?
Very, very rarely. Yeah, I mean, granted, there are all those times when the dock's there and when I need it and it's immaculate, but I will say I am more attracted to the Switch Lite now that I've lost my Switch.
And you get the D-pad.
Hey, hey, Garrett. This is super random, but the Gears of War 5 beta starts tomorrow.
On PC as well?
Yes.
Is it a free download?
If you have Game Pass, it's free.
So you said Game Pass is like $5
There's always
on
a
PC?
catch.
Yeah. Are you interested in that?
Absolutely.
All right, we should totally do it with each other.
Okay, don't let me forget tonight. I need to download or sign up for Game Pass.
You guys should definitely do it together.
Do you together, Jacob.
Yeah.
Don't test us. What were we talking about right before that?
I don't know.
You were talking about Halo?
A little too much Halo, of course. Yeah, I lost my Switch in the plane.
Yeah, the Switch, that's what you're talking
about.
And
I have a pretty valid excuse. I of course, flew to LA for the Ghost Inside show, which we'll talk about in a minute. But I had pulled an all-nighter because I got off work so late the night before my flight. My flight was at like 7 a.m. So, of course, we're boarding at like 6:25 or whatever. So I got to be at the airport pretty early. So I just stayed up because I was feared that I wouldn't wake back up again. So I was totally exhausted. I like dozed in and out of sleep on the flight to LA. But I was so tired. I'd stuck the Switch in the seat pocket in front of me because I had every intention to play My Friend Pedro on the flight, but I fell asleep instantly. And I woke up and just totally forgot it was there. And I got to talking to someone who was sitting next to me, so I especially forgot then. But got off the plane and I didn't realize it till like the following morning.
Oh no!
So like I got some time to kill before I got to be anywhere. I was like, maybe I'll play a little My Friend Pedro, and I was like, I left my Switch on the plane like a doofus. So that really sucks.
That pains me. I'm sorry,
but it's all good. I'll get another one eventually. But because I didn't play it enough to be like. I mean, obviously you can't lose your PC because it's your house, but if I lost the PC somehow, I'd be really bummed out.
Did you take your laptop?
I did.
Good thing you didn't lose that.
No, yeah, I have that attached to me. Like my life depends on it. Yeah. It's like every source of my income depends on that laptop right now for the most part. So that's a bummer, but did make it to LA safely. And like an idiot, I also forgot the tickets to the show.
Oh my God.
The physical tickets at because I was out of town. I was actually on a different plane when the resale tickets went up because I missed my window for the original sale because I was doing a project, and I even had reminders on my phone. I think I remember talking about it on the podcast. I totally forgot, missed my window. I was like, dang it, I can't go to that show. I really want to go. So then they did a resale, but I was literally flying through the air. So my father, God bless him, went online and bought 2 really expensive resale tickets off a weird website. They're both $150 a piece. Mm-hmm. So I fly all the way to LA thinking like, my dad paid all that money for tickets. I can't even go to the show now. And I realized this because I had like 4 hours to go before the show. And of course I'd been up all night. So I got to my motel. I was like, I'll take a quick nap before I go to the show. It was like a mile from where I was staying. And, right before I like close my eyes, it's like that moment of shock, like, holy crap, I had forgotten the tickets. I call my dad and like, was there like a digital version that you got in an email? And turns out there wasn't. My dad even called the website and was like, sorry, like the only tickets we could like supply you with are the physical versions. So my only hope is to go online and pray that there's one more ticket available. And this is hilarious. I go online and buy another ticket for $30 and got into the show. What? Can you believe that?
What?
That's got to be a God thing, man. That's truly a miracle. I mean, I think what had happened is that originally the show was indoors at the Shrine, which is already a pretty big venue. And I think Billie Eilish was playing like 3 days after Ghost Inside. So it's like one of those big venues in the city. And I think it's like second to like the Hollywood Palladium, whatever it's called. So it's gigantic indoors, but I think they realized they sold so many tickets that like we might as well, the venue decided like, let's move it outdoors into a parking lot. It wasn't even originally built for a show outdoors. So
you think they were just trying to sell tickets?
No, well, yeah, I think they had the opportunity to sell more because they could fill up the entire parking lot now. Yeah. So once they moved the venue outdoors, fortunately for my sake, they could sell more tickets. So I went online and bought just a normal ticket. It wasn't even a resale ticket. And it was only $30 after all of that.
How'd your dad feel about this?
Yeah, I think he was a little bummed, but he was just glad I it because he knew it was important for me to be there. But and I'll pay him back in time.
Man, you need to get some sleep. You're goofing a lot.
Well, it was just that one day because I just worked and didn't have time to like sleep in between just from working to getting to LA. And I flew in the morning of the show, and then it was later that night. So I get there, I get in the door, and there's like so many. I don't know how many people there were total, but it's definitely one of the bigger shows I've been to, with the exception of going to shows like Metallica and stuff. As far as like going to like a hardcore show, it's by far the most people I've seen at a show like that, for obvious reasons. But it was really cool because I think it's like my 6th time seeing the Ghost Inside, and I always knew they were like really passionate fans, but I've never been in a setting where people from all over the world that are fans of this band are all in one place. I mean, there are people from Australia, like Japan. All across Europe, of course, all across the United States.
That's really cool.
So that was really unique. It was like one of the more unique shows I've been to, not only because of the circumstances surrounding the band's revival and their return, but all the people that came there to support them on the same night, which is really unique. And I stood in line for just over 2 hours for merch. And I got in line, and I was like, this line isn't too bad. I stood there for 2 hours.
Like while they were playing? Or
No, because they had, they intentionally opened the doors 2.5 hours before they went on, because I think they knew there'd be a lot of people wanting merch. And I'm actually wearing one of the shirts right now. I wanted to intentionally get the ones that were like exclusive to the show. This is like the one night only, blah, 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 with the date on it and everything for the show. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
But I went there with intentions to buy like multiple shirts. But by the time I got to the front of the line, they had sold out of 2 that I know Zach wanted, because I was going to get Zach one of 2 shirts that I had him pick out. And both the ones he wanted were sold out. But thankfully for my sake, the 2 I wanted most was this one and also their album Returners, which is, I still think Fury and the Fallen Ones slightly beats out Returners for me, but that's their second album is Returners. And I also really love that album. That's the album that got me into them. That's like the first album I heard from them. So I got that shirt that's exclusive to that album, and then this one. And I got Zach. I think I got Zach the Returner shirt too. But by the time I got to the front, they were sold out of multiple shirts, and it was just absolute chaos.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, I stood just to the right of the soundboard, and I will say the first few songs were so quiet because I think obviously they sound it's tricky to sound check outdoors in general, but I think they sound checked, of course, to an empty parking lot, and of course when all those people fill in, you got to completely adjust the sound. I mean an experienced sound guy can kind of like find the line between the two, but there's always adjustments of like the first few songs of any set. And the first few songs, man, it's like you and I could talk at this level. That's how quiet it was. So I think like from the soundboard back, everyone just kind of like stood there and like listened. It was like not really physically responding to it. Like, of course, everyone up front was losing their minds. Yeah. Like the second back half of the crowd was like, it was like listening in a pair of headphones. It was so quiet.
Were people like shouting, like, turn it up?
Not really, but you could tell there was people who were like, oh, it's kind of quiet right now. Yeah. But by the third or fourth song, it was cranked up and sounded awesome. And they played a killer set too. I mean, considering like all the injuries they had, and especially their drummer who lost a leg, and his father built this device where he could play like double kick still. That's and he cool. nailed every song. It was incredible. And they played all the songs I wanted to hear too, which is great. So the show was awesome. It was cool to be there with all those people. Great to see him again. I hope they continue. They were open about the fact like we don't know if we're going to actually continue after this. Like we want to, of course, but it's like a big undertaking to carry on after all this.
Did any of them pass away? Are they all still there?
No, there was. I think it was the driver of their bus died, and then I think someone in the other bus they ran into, whatever they had run into, also died. So only 2 people died, but everyone like suffered like really brutal injuries.
Yeah. So, like, was the guy losing the leg the worst one?
Probably. I mean, I know Vigil had, like, he has, like, really bad legs still. Like, he was on a cane for a long time. Even when I saw him at Call of Duty last year and talked to him, he was still on a cane then. Which I still I reflect on that moment, and I had a feeling I had to have crossed his mind for a split second, because he told us right before he played Greater Distance, which is my favorite song by them. I told him that when I met him. He's like, we're about to play songs off Returners. He's like, I know a lot of you, and this song in particular, he's like, I remember, like, a lot of you have told me how much this song means to you. I was like, he's got to remember, because it was such a unique encounter to be like playing the new Call of Duty for the first time right next to one of your biggest fans. Yeah. It's like, I had to have crossed his mind for a split second. He may not remember what I look like or what my name was, but like that encounter he had to have remembered. Yeah. So that performance was extra special to me, I felt like. But yeah, played killer set, loved it. Really glad to see him again. I hope they continue. I was expecting them to play like maybe one new song, like maybe one single they'd worked on in all that time, but they did not. So, I mean, they could have been working on something they've yet to unveil, but at the end of the day, really, really glad I got to go. Truly unique experience. Even the day after, I spent I spent most of my day in Santa Monica and at the pier there the following day, because my flight was at like 1 a.m. Monday morning, and I had all of Sunday to kill. So I was like, I'm not going to be an idiot and go sit at the airport for 12 hours. Yeah. It's like, I'll go run around LA for a bit. Spent way too much money on Uber, of course, but throughout the day, I saw multiple people that had the merch on from the show, which is pretty cool. All in different parts of the city too, and a few of them I talked to, so it was kind of cool. One guy was from Portland, and we talked about their music and our favorite albums and stuff. And there's a couple couples that had gone together that had different shirts on, so it was cool seeing all those people and meeting a few.
Did you see someone with a shirt that was sold out and think about stealing it off their backs?
No, I did not. Oh. The shirts I wanted most, they had, thankfully. Yeah. But
for Zach's sake.
For Zach's sake, I definitely considered it, but I did not do such a thing. So
seems like you're not really that good of friends with him, I guess.
I guess not. But Santa Monica was cool. I'd never been to the pier before. I know it's such a generic touristy thing to do. Yeah. There's like 4 billion people at the pier. I got horribly sunburned too. I didn't even think about it, because it was one of those overcast days that's deceiving. Like, it wasn't even hot out. Like, the dry California heat is so different from like the hot humidity here, that here I feel like I can tell when I'm burning, whereas there I felt really good all day. But by the end of the day, I thought, you know what? I've probably been frying alive all day. And yes, I had. I was completely destroyed. But I took over, I took exactly 1,097 pictures at the pier. I got to edit all of them.
Holy 1,000 pictures.
Yeah, I'm going to try to pick between my top 5 and 10, because I took a lot that I really liked. But when I always overshoot. I have a bad habit of that. But I went there and took over 1,000 pictures of like anything I thought even remotely interesting. Not just like, oh, there's the beach, there's the roller coaster. Like, I tried to find unique angles and like unique people and like couples, like just having a good time there, because I wanted to capture like the spirit of the pier, not necessarily like what you can do there and the food there and like some seagulls. Yeah. Like, I wanted to be like, this is like an interesting looking couple doing something interesting together. Like, here's like someone winning a game. Like, I wanted to capture like the spirit of the place. We'll see if I achieve that. I have no idea. I've yet to edit the pictures, but that was fun, just running around Santa Monica taking pictures all day. It was cool to see the pier that I've seen pictures for 2 decades of my life. This pier I'd never been to before, just people showing it off. And it was cool to be there for the first time. I got a lot of sand in my shoes. I got a lot of the Pacific Ocean in my shoes too. I was on the edge of the water taking a picture of this like silhouetted guy under the pier, and I was not paying attention to the tide. Came and destroyed me, man. Soaked my shoes. And Preston, you would hate this. Not only were my shoes full of sand, but they were soaked to the brim. I walked around for like 3 hours like that. It was terrible. You get to the airport and you got to take off your shoes and security. I'm like dumping sand out everywhere. But really fun trip overall. Nothing like crazy happened, but had a really fun time. Really glad I got to go. And I pray that Ghost Inside continues, because I love them. But yeah, made it home safely, and I am back to enjoy some video games this week with my boys.
I'm glad you had a good time.
Yeah. So I think that's all I have going on. I know we've been rambling for a bit. What we talk about Call of Duty.
That's all this episode is.
Talk about Preston. Talk about some games. I'm trying to think of something I played that I'm totally overlooking. Maybe nothing.
You've talked about everything that you told me.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
Did you play anything on PS4?
No. With the exception of dabbling in Spider-Man, I think that's all I played.
Okay.
So I do want to continue Spyro at some point, because that is just like classic summertime gaming to me. Because I told you when I was a kid, that's why it's most nostalgic in the summertime. Because when I was growing up, I played Spyro for like a couple hours before I went to the pool. My mom would drag my sister and I to the pool. We'd go for like 4 hours, and I'd come back and play more Spyro. So I'd love to play through Ripto's Rage, because I platinumed the first Spyro on PS4. So I dabbled in Ripto's Rage. And Ripto's Rage was always my favorite one. I was mistaken. I thought Year of the Dragon was, which is the third one, but Ripto's Rage is my favorite. So
gotcha.
I am pretty thrilled to continue. Whenever I get to that. I got Metro to play. I got Apex to play.
You mentioned that you wanted to play Rage 2. Did you ever get around to doing that?
I dabbled on PS4 for a little bit. I think I'd rather finish it up on PC. I've literally collectively played maybe an hour and a half of Rage 2 on PS4. So jumping back in on PC would be like I was still starting fresh. So
and then you got to play Persona 5 still.
Yep. I think I'll be in the mood for that. Probably not this year, unfortunately, because by the time Call of Duty comes out and Fallen Order and Gears and all these fall games that are coming out, I'm going to be busy for the rest of the year. I think if there is a rut, I think there will be a rut just before the new consoles launch. Like there will probably be a dead few months there. I think that's going to be my window to really. And granted, I'm going to have to start over, dude. Like I could watch like a recap up into where I've played, but I think I'd appreciate it more if I started fresh. I didn't get that far in it.
But wait for the new version that comes out too.
Yeah, I like to imagine myself on a cold winter morning, waking up with a hot cup of coffee. Ooh. A damn fine cup of coffee.
Mm-hmm. Black coffee?
Of course. And playing some Persona and just enjoying my time. And it takes place in Tokyo, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Enjoying my time in Tokyo amongst my classmates and the evil professors, teachers.
Evil professors. I think there's
a gym
one.
teacher. But that's how I like to imagine myself getting back into Persona.
I respect that.
So, I'm in the mood for a cup of coffee and a slice of pie, because I've been on a Twin Peaks kick recently. That is just an excellent show. If you haven't seen it, check out Twin Peaks. I know that it's been rebooted now with a new season, but the original season from the 90s, original 2 seasons, are just damn fine television. And I'm quoting Cooper, my favorite character from the show, the FBI agent.
I'm staring at this candle right now, and it says IKEA on it. I didn't know IKEA had candles.
They have food as well. Did you know that?
I know that, yeah.
Yeah, they have. If they have food, they have everything.
I drive by IKEA every time I drive down here for work.
Mm-hmm.
I drive right by it.
You're so close to me every time you drive down here then.
Do you know...
Why are we not getting lunch at least once a week?
I literally am on 17th Street around noon.
Every day?
Yeah.
Dude, what the F? When do you get lunch? Usually.
I'll either bring it with me or I'll stop somewhere back on Bethelview and Coming.
Dude, why have you not called me at least once when I'm practically within walking distance of you daily?
I'll do it Thursday.
Please.
Okay.
We can get lunch somewhere quick and then you can go back.
All right. Let's do it.
And there's like 1,000 places to eat around here.
I'll call you like 30 minutes in advance.
Okay.
And you can tell me a place to meet you.
We'll find the finest Captain D's and we'll go there.
All right.
How's that sound?
Sounds great.
Cool.
Captain D's.
Yeah, I'm on a Captain D's kick right now. I purely eat their fish.
We're down in the city and you want to eat Captain D's?
I hope you know I'm joking right now.
Okay. I didn't know.
But I do want to take you to my pokey place I like.
Okay.
I'm still Preston about my pokey kick right now.
So what is pokey again?
Imagine a burrito bowl, but it's sushi. It's a sushi bowl.
That's weird.
It sounds weird, but get this. This is what I do. This may turn you on a bit, so prepare yourself.
Okay.
So when I make a poke bowl, I get the sushi rice, which is like the sticky white rice. Mm-hmm. You can get brown rice, you can get noodles, but I get the sticky white rice. And they make it, it's a work of art. This girl is adorable, I meant to tell you.
Oh, that's
this young woman of African-American descent sounds like a Disney princess. I'm not even kidding. When you hear her voice, you're going to like instantly fall in love with her. I don't mean like I want to marry you kind of love. She's like, you're adorable. Like I want to hear you talk all the time. And she's so passionate about her work. She makes every bowl like it's going to be the last thing she ever does in her life. And that's why I love the place so much, because not only is it immaculate pokey, and I realize I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. People tell me it's poke or what else?
Pokemon.
Like poke bowl, but I just say pokey. But yeah, she puts her heart and soul into every bowl she makes. So I get the sushi the sushi rice, sticky white rice. I get my protein. I get 3 protein because I get a medium bowl. It's different sizes. So I get salmon, raw salmon. I get raw crab meat and also raw shrimp.
Okay.
All in the bowl. That's my protein. Vegetables, I get edamame. I get cilantro. I get seaweed salad. I get, I think I get jalapenos in there. I get a bunch of different vegetables and greens in there.
Yeah.
Then I get like a spicy wasabi concoction of sauces. There's several different sauces, but I just say, give me some spicy sauce. And they make this like concoction of sauces, and they don't just dump it in there. They like beautifully mix it into a bowl and add it to the rice and like dress it across the top. And then my sides, I get crab meat, sticks of crab meat. Like, it's one thing to have crab legs where you rip the meat out and it's all sloppy. I mean, sometimes you can get a full leg of meat out of there. These like immaculate crab leg raw meat sticks that you just get as a side on top. And I get this like crunchy, I get crispy dried onion bits on the top. And this also, it's like called like fumi naki or something, like these like crispy seeds that are like little seasoned that go on top of the rice and the meat. Look at the way I'm describing this. I'm so passionate about it now.
Yeah, I can tell.
And the beautiful thing is that it's very clean food and it's also very filling. But once you're filled to the rim, you don't feel disgusting after. It's not like a greasy cheeseburger or something. So it's like really clean food and it's delicious and it's filling and it's not that expensive either. And I have my little Pokey card and you can help me fill that out so I can get a free bowl soon. Wait, it's all a ploy to get a free bowl, Jacob. I need your help.
Yeah.
But if that interests you and you're bold enough to try it with me, because I was disgusted by it back in the day. I saw that and I was like, that's filthy nonsense. I was like, I won't dare put that in my mouth.
Yeah.
But having grown accustomed to sushi over the years and now poke, I'm like all about it. Dude.
Let's do it Thursday.
Please.
You want to?
I kid you not, it's like within walking distance of 17th Street.
I'll pull in here. You let me in the gate. I'll just park my vehicle here.
Yeah.
We'll just,
fine.
We'll walk there or something.
Mm-hmm. We will do that. No, I think we should scooter there.
Okay, let's.
That's a fun.
I've never been on the scooters.
Oh, dude, it's fun. Just make sure if you have Uber or Lyft, you're good.
Okay.
The Uber or Lyft apps.
You're one of those.
Bird's
people,
the best scooter. I got into those as well. I don't scooter everywhere because it is a little embarrassing and humiliating, but those things are so fun once you get used to them, dude. And those things got some oomph, man. They can go pretty quick. So just be thankful we live in Atlanta and not Nashville, because the governor of Nashville, I think, temporarily banned them because so many people were getting like wrecking horribly.
People are dumb.
Yeah. So it's a good time. It's funny, like a lot of people have taken upon themselves to charge these scooters, and you have to have a very specific rig to properly charge them. So I've seen people scoop up like 10 or 15 and stack them on top of each other and ride them all at once. It's fascinating because they drive them to wherever they live and they charge them all night. And I think they get paid for that. Like, I think the companies actually pay people.
Oh, you mean like employees that are...
No, these are people that, it's like Uber for like, I want to drive for Uber. You sign up on the app, you put in all the information, you can just start driving for Uber. I think charging these scooters, you kind of sign up in a similar way.
Okay.
And it's expensive to afford like the necessary power to charge these things. But if you can, I think over time, it's like a pretty good investment, it seems, because people like are really serious about collecting scooters and charging them.
Interesting.
So
do you have like areas that you're supposed to cover, or you just kind of work when you want to?
I think it's similar to Uber and Lyft. Like, you just turn it on when you want. And I don't know how they monitor that and like how they know which scooters you have. It's probably like by serial number or something. They
probably have like QR codes or some shit like that.
And that's how you get them. Like, you open up your app and just scan it with your phone and you're off to the what's the phrase?
Races?
Off to the races, literally. So you and I could race Pokey.
Yeah, we could race to the Pokey.
Or we could ride together. They can carry 2 people.
Is there a weight limit?
Probably, but I've seen some heavy folks ride those things together. Okay. I've also seen people go flying over the handlarbars into the streets.
You've seen someone wreck?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
So
I've yet to see that.
Typically intoxicated people, and they say don't drink and scooter, but many people do that.
That should be more prevalent.
It actually says in the rules, it's like, don't go on the belt line, don't ride if you're intoxicated.
Go on the belt line?
Well, it's funny. Everyone goes on the belt line anyway. That's basically a scooter highway in the city. It's purely meant for walking and like walking dogs, but it's 90% scooters now. Mm-hmm. And I think the city doesn't know how to crack down on it.
How do you?
Like, how do you stop
patrolling it? Like,
I guess.
Just let people do what they want.
Yeah.
They're not on the roads.
Yeah.
Freeing up the roads.
You're supposed to be on the roads, believe it or not. It says don't ride on sidewalks, but I'm like terrified to ride on the road.
I only see them on sidewalks.
Yeah,
if I see one on the road, I'm going to hit them.
Yeah, I mean, it's so easy to bump into people like that.
Yeah.
So why are we dwelling on scooters? I don't know. I think it's because there's not much else to talk about.
You just got me really on this Pokey.
Yeah. You got to try it,
this Pokemon Pokey.
It's delicious.
Do they have Pokemon anything themed in there? I feel like it's a really big missed opportunity.
Not at this location. I'm sure there's somewhere that does that. I don't know if you can get away with that legally. You probably have to license it to put it on the walls of your restaurant where you're making money.
That's what Nintendo needs to do. They need to become a Poke Bowl company.
You think so?
Yes.
That's going to save bowl. Yeah, bits of real Pikachu in it.
Forget the Switch Pro.
I'm going to have my raw salmon Charizard. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm going to have a Charmander blaze my salmon.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, they're building those theme parks. They could just like make animatronics that do that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They could go wild with this.
Preston, where are you in all this?
I'm here.
Does this pokey, phenomenon interest you whatsoever?
No, me and Garrett
I'm intrigued.
Kind of discussed it earlier today, and I wasn't too interested in it. Granted, I've never had anything like that before, so who knows? Maybe I might like it, but chances are
that's why it intrigues me.
Not.
I think.
I'm not a seafood guy at all.
Oh, really? Like not even shrimp or fish?
Not really. No.
Man.
I'm all about some fried shrimp, especially Osteen, St. Augustine. You've never been?
Yeah.
Change your life.
That's as much seafood as I can get right there. It's like fried shrimp. I can deal with like some crab cakes or something like that, but like boiled shrimp or like salmon and stuff, I can't do that.
Dude, I was at Panda the other day and I had some crab ragu. Oh,
that's some good stuff. Man. I had Panda in LA.
There is no crab rangoon at Panda Express.
It's cream cheese rangoon.
It's cream cheese.
No.
I do think there is a little crab in there.
No, there's not. Crab. There's no crab in it. I swear.
I'm looking this up.
There is
I told them crab.
No,
rangoon.
It's cream cheese rangoon.
Maybe you say crab rangoon, please, and they like turn around like they know you have no idea. You're looking it up right now? You that serious?
Yes.
It's funny you say that because I noticed they were cream cheese rangoons when I had it the other night.
Let the world know, Jacob. Let them know.
I mean, they were good though, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, they're delicious.
They are still good. I love their spring rolls too.
I have to get an order of those every time I go there.
Yeah. They were out of all the good stuff though. I had
Yeah, what do you guys get at Panda?
I'm a simple man, Jacob. Most would say I'm a boring man. I get orange chicken and sesame chicken with fried rice.
I like the sweet fire chicken. It's usually right next to it.
I'm all about the sweet fire chicken.
What's the chicken that has the green beans? Because I had to get that because they were out of everything else.
I don't know.
Chicken and beans.
Chicken and beans.
Yeah, whatever it was it was really good green beans.
Dude, I love the Beijing beef.
Oh, that's good stuff. Is that with the broccoli?
No. That's with like the onions and peppers. It's like the fried beef crap.
Yeah.
That's really good. I mainly just get the grilled teriyaki chicken and the sweet heat or sweet fire, whatever it's called.
Man, you guys are getting me.
Man, we're going off on a couple of tangents. I kind of forgot we were even doing a podcast.
Yeah, we were just catching up. Man. Preston and I had quite the diet this afternoon, Jacob. We had bags of popcorn at the film. Then we got 10 Lizzies. We had some really delicious tacos. We were like in a heated conversation. I don't even remember eating my food.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say heated. Just a really in-depth conversation, and I don't recall eating that food at all.
During the movie?
No, not during the movie, post-movie. And then we went to Krispy Kreme and got some donuts.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm so jealous.
I got some donuts over there for you if you want them.
Those are the ones you brought home? You didn't bring home a nice chocolate frost?
F you and your chocolate frosty glazed donut.
Get the hell out of here, dude. I've had enough of
you. You guys are freaks. And Preston, I am sad to inform you that you are right. They are cream cheese rangoons.
Yes, sir.
And that saddens me to say.
I know, Jacob.
I am the Panda Express master, so don't doubt me again, sir.
I don't know. I go there a lot, but apparently that doesn't mean anything.
Knowledge.
Dude, so Krispy Kreme has these new donuts with cream. It's like they already have cream-filled donuts. This didn't hit me when I was there because I was like, oh, these are new. This is cool. But like, they already have cream-filled donuts, but now they have cream-filled donuts in like a regular donut. So it's like a circular donut, but there's cream in it.
Yeah, Jacob and I talked about this, how the chocolate one looks like feces.
I mean, it's just chocolate.
Yeah, but how was that donut?
No, it was delicious, but then it hit me and I was like, this is the exact same thing as a regular cream-filled donut, just in a different shape.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. But
half of it, like, I don't like the cream filled ones because of like its consistency. Like when I eat it, I don't like that filling.
Jacob told me he doesn't like things in other things. I told him because I'm one of those
not completely
freaks,
true, but
I'm one of those freaks that likes a good jelly filled donut.
Yeah,
like, I love those.
I think when it comes to desserts,
then how is that freaky?
Okay, that's good because most people I say that to are like appalled when I say
like,
that.
listen,
I
don't like Twinkies for the same reason.
Then don't fucking
like
talk to me.
Those little like chocolate cupcakes with a little white swirl on the top. I don't like those because it has the cream in it. I don't like those kind of things.
Jacob ain't about that cream.
I don't want it, and I don't like. I don't like Cool Whip.
Cool Whip.
I don't like it.
You don't like whipped cream?
I like whipped.
I'm one of those guys that will literally squirt the bottle in my mouth. Because my grandma used to do that for me and my cousins, like we were baby birds, and she'd squirt the whipped cream into our mouths.
You know what's even more disgusting? The people that do it with the little cheese things.
I tell you what, Jacob, sometimes I'm tempted to squirt my shaving cream into my mouth because it looks so delicious.
Garrett, I lost connection for a little bit, so I don't know what happened.
You mean on your recording? Or
no. I'm still recording and everything. It's just I said if you don't like jelly-filled donuts, then I'm offended by that, and then I come back and you're talking about squirting shaving cream in your mouth.
You're not telling me that doesn't look delicious when you spray it like a good Barbasol can?
No.
Yeah. I agree, dude. I spray whipped cream in my mouth all the time.
Yeah, that's some good stuff, man. Just take that nozzle to the back of your throat.
I mean, you never know if you don't try it.
In the fridge, looking for something to eat, and you just, spray
that'll do.
Spray a tablespoon of
Some
whipped cream
people
in your mouth.
their shaving cream.
That's the best reason to have a can of Cool Whip or whipped cream in your fridge, because you'll go in there, and oftentimes if it's empty, you're like, well, at least I have this Cool Whip, because it'll.
Yeah,
it's fun, dude, to overfill your mouth and gonna have to like.
Yeah, that sounds nasty.
Good stuff. It's
good.
Pure.
You want to know the worst part about it? I've never even tried that, like putting a bunch in my mouth. I
can help you out.
I'm just a judgmental asshole.
Allow me to fill your mouth with the cream I have in my fridge.
I mean, you put it like that, I'm intrigued.
I threw fridge in there because I don't want to frighten people.
Yeah.
This is a
PG podcast.
Well, not even relatively PG.
What even is this podcast?
I say it borders. Good question. I say it's a strong PG-13, and it occasionally borders on R.
Is there any more game stuff to talk about?
I'm trying
the Switch Lite was announced.
Yeah, that was announced. Let's talk about all the people pissed off about the Switch Lite for some reason. Like, why are you pissed off about it? This is I don't understand the outrage for this thing.
I need it more than ever, personally.
There's outrage for anything, Preston.
I know, and that's just one thing about one of the giant list of reasons why the internet is awful. But it's just like I've seen so much crap about a device that you literally don't need to buy, and this particular device is going to sell a bazillion copies this holiday season with Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like it's,
I think it might be some of those gamers that are out there like, I want a more powerful Switch. I want one that's like 1080p handheld. I want one that looks like the PS4. Yada yada yada.
I guess, but like people are so offended that like it's like they want to buy something else. They're like, oh, my Switch right now is better. Like, okay, well then keep your Switch. Why are you mad?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just
I don't know. Maybe people just look at it as a gimmick. It's just in some ways it might be, but I think
how is it a gimmick? It's just a
it.
smaller Switch that you can just use that doesn't have Joy-Con. Like I don't understand. And it's like, oh, you can't play all the games on it. Okay, yeah. If you really want to play 1-2 Switch or use your freaking cardboard shits, then just buy a regular Switch. Like it's that easy.
I get the one for Mario Party, but at the same time you can just connect other Joy-Cons.
Dude, if you had such a raging dick for Mario Party, you would have already had a Switch.
True, yeah.
So I don't know. I think it's fine. I would have, the only thing that I would have wanted to see different is it be like a little cheaper. Like I think like $150. That might be too much, but I think that would have been like perfect.
Because it's $100 cheaper than normal Switch. When Switch has several other features. Well, not really several.
Not several. It has. You can connect it to
screen. You can detach the
that dock is expensive, brother.
Yeah, and the dock, and like I can see for $100 more, it's well worth the price of just buying another Switch for me, at least.
Yeah, for sure.
But if it was $150, I would buy that in a heartbeat when it came out.
Dude, you can find sales and stuff like on the Prime Day crap. I was seeing on one of the Twitter things I follow that a Switch was $250. So I mean, there definitely probably are going to be sales. going on where you can get it, around the same price as a Switch Lite.
My only problem is that the colors are ugly. I think they look stupid.
I like the gray one. I love the edits people have done of like the OG Game Boy and stuff. That always looks so much cooler. I think those things, I mean, they're already going to sell well. It's Nintendo, but if it looked like an OG like Game Boy or something, those things would sell.
What were they thinking with that yellow?
I actually like the yellow.
I don't like it.
I like it.
I do not like that shade. It's like mustard poop.
It doesn't look too much like mustard to me. I think it looks like a creamy yellow. Like a creamy, soft yellow.
You look like mustard poop.
Do I?
Yeah.
I like mustard. That's fine by me. It's fine, Jacob. I'll embrace that. I like the gray one, though. If I was to pick one up, it'd probably be the gray one.
Same. There's a turquoise one, right? That one's okay.
Yeah.
I'll stick to my black.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. If I'm going to do anything, I'm going to download one of those mod kits to turn it into the see-through purple looking Nintendo 64
Oh,
one.
that'd be awesome.
Yeah, those are cool.
They need to release some Joy-Cons that look like that. I would buy those.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
For
so much nostalgia there.
For
yes,
sure.
Sir.
But, dude. Okay, I completely forgot about this. I did want to talk about this a little bit since we kind of spoke on Pokemon. So, Jacob, I texted you about a game called Tim Tim. I completely forgot.
Did you?
Yeah, you replied to me.
Oh, yeah, you did. Yeah.
So I kickstarted this game after watching a few trailers called Tim Tim. It's TEMTEM. Dude, it is a straight up Pokemon ripoff. It's a ripoff. It's straight up ripoff. I couldn't come up with anything else to say. But it's awesome. It's like an MMO-ish Pokemon where you can see all the other players running around while you're running around.
That sounds
you can
incredible.
like interact with them a little bit. I think you can fight them or trade and stuff, but it's exactly what Pokemon needs to do if they were going to make it, like put a multiplayer like thing into it. Gosh, I'm having a hard time speaking.
Yeah.
It's like I said, a straight up Pokemon. You pick your starter at the beginning. They evolve. There's a lot of them. You run around and there's, instead of gyms, they're called like dojos. The battles are 2-on-2 instead of 1-on-1. And there are kind of mechanics, like if you have two water types together, their water damage is amplified. There isn't any PP points anymore. Anymore, like this is a sequel. There are no PP points in this game, and you have a stamina bar. So particular moves take away your stamina bar, and if you use a move that takes more stamina than you have, you'll actually hurt yourself. So you might actually have to rest your Tim Tim a turn so it gets his stamina back up.
They're called Tim Tims.
Yeah, they're called Tim. You're like a Tim Tim capture. I don't know. They have like different terrain. Like you don't capture one, you like tame it and stuff. But it's straight up Pokemon. But it's really cool graphic. Like it's like Pokemon in full HD, like 3D character models. The world is pretty cool. It's like you're on these floating islands and stuff. But I paid into the alpha, and I got access to the alpha. Which allows you to play to some point. But it's coming out for everything when it releases, like Switch, consoles and everything. But from what I played, it's pretty cool to be what it is.
Like, I want that so bad for Pokemon. Like, it's just perfect for an MMO. It makes so much sense.
Yeah,
and they'll never do it.
This is great because it's not like an MMO. Like, it doesn't change anything to make it an MMO. You can just see everybody running around you. Like you'll see them battling trainers, or like, I see a ton of guys like farming particular areas to get Pokemon and stuff. And there's like a chat window down where people are like asking where, like, hey, do you guys know where this particular dude spawns and stuff? So it's like just the perfect amount of like internet connectivity to that type of game. So yeah, I think it's cool. Like I said, I backed it. So I hope I don't regret that at some point, but I think it's coming out next year at some point. I think I definitely would want to get it more for Switch, but I really wanted to try that alpha out, which is the main reason I did that. But have you seen what it looks like at all, Jacob?
No, I told you I was going to check it out and I did not. Well, I apologize.
Thanks for lying to me.
But I will after tonight.
Gotcha. But yeah, check it out.
How much did you have to back to play it?
It was like $25, I think.
Oh wow.
It's okay. I think it's a Discord exclusive right now. That's how I played it from the Discord launcher. So that's how I bought it, was on there. Okay. So it was like I said, 25 or $30. Like I said, I don't know if that was a complete waste because I might want to get it on Switch, but who knows? The thing that I'm really impressed by is the character design. Like all the Tim things look great. Like they look like Pokemon. Like it's not like, it doesn't look like a knockoff. So yeah, I think it's really
look
cool.
Similar, or are they just like
it has its own art style look, but it definitely looks like Pokemon was their inspiration. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think if you're into Pokemon and you kind of want to maybe see something that's different, the combat's harder. Like I actually have lost a few times. Like it's just I don't know. It seems like what Pokemon maybe should have turned into with some mechanics. Like I like it because it feels like you're playing a Pokemon game, but it's actually evolved. It's not the exact same thing we've played a million times before with a different coat of paint.
Yeah.
So yeah, it impressed me enough to buy it. So check it out.
I like the sound of that.
No, you don't.
Being honest, I do. Will I play it? Probably not.
Are you gonna play the new ones, cool. Sword and Shield?
Definitely, yeah.
Really?
If I get a Switch Lite,
you don't,
or a Switch in this case. That does sound pretty cool though. That's the thing. I've always wanted to get more into Pokemon. I've just never really allowed myself to for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Sword and Shield may change things for me. We'll see.
We'll see how that develops.
What's something else we're leaving out here? We got to be leaving something.
We're not leaving
out.
Anything out.
You don't think so?
No. If it was important, we'd remember it.
Yeah. Of course, news is very sparse at the moment.
Or if we cared about it.
Yeah.
People are just here for Preston, let's be honest. We haven't heard him in a while.
Absolutely.
It's good to hear what he's been up to, what he's been playing.
Yep.
I mean, if it's all right with you, I say we just move on to the questions. Because I am burning. Like I am sweating.
I sent you guys the shittiest picture of all time of the game. It didn't.
I already look so stoked.
It did not. The resolution was trash. I don't know why I picked that one.
Definitely looks like Pokemon though.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see other people. That's cool.
Yeah.
So you get like a Pokemon to follow you.
Yes,
behind?
the one at the one that is at the top of your party will just automatically follow you around.
I like that.
So yeah, it's cool.
Nice.
We got any?
Is there a trailer?
Yeah, there is a trailer. Yep.
Okay, I'll watch that.
Yep. Garrett, we have any community questions?
We have 2 community questions.
We only have 2.
I have 2 things to say involving ItsObviousGaming in particular. Jacob and I recorded a lot of gameplay of Jacob and I playing Apex this week, along with Confucius was there with us. I had a lot of fun. I had some good moments for sure, but I realized I could probably turn this into a half decent video, entertaining, but I think Apex is popular, but not popular enough for someone to watch just like a random Let's Play from a small channel like us. I'm sure there are a few of you out there that would like to see another Let's Play from us, which you can count on. And I decided that I think it's probably better. So we still I know we're not as on schedule as we used to be, but we still have a passion for ItsObviousGaming, of course, and would like to see the channel continue to grow. And I think best case scenario for that would be to focus on content from new games in particular. So I think we're going to hold off and do stuff, for like Call of Duty. We'll probably do a bit of coverage for Fallen Order, anything else releasing in the fall, anything that maybe pops up in between now and then that's relatively popular that people seem interested in, and focus on Let's Play related content and possibly streaming content, just focused on new games, because I think that's gives us a better chance of growing a bit more and kind of returning to the flow we had of gaining new subscribers and new listeners to the podcast and growing the community even more, which would be pretty cool. But as always, of course, we are incredibly grateful for the support we have, and we love you all to bits. And we do want to give another shout out for any community questions you want to send our way, because we have depleted all of our community questions that are still we're still really able to answer. There are, of course, ones from the past that are really tied to specific eras. I say eras like it was from 2 centuries ago, but when certain games were either popular or related to like a certain news story that's really old.
And we just didn't get around to it.
Yeah, and we apologize for that. But any community questions you guys have to send to us in the meantime, and again, we say it can be about anything. I mean, of course, something that's appropriate to talk about on the podcast, but we're willing to talk about just about anything. So anything that comes to mind, whether it's gaming related or life related or something funny, anything that comes to mind, you just feel like dumping it in on our Discord, that'd be great, or email us. Might as well plug it now. If you want to reach us for community questions and have your questions read live on the show, you can reach us in one of three places. You can email us at ItsObviousGaming@gmail.com. You can tweet at us at @obvious_gaming, or submit your questions in the Ask IOG section of our Discord channel. And always include that hashtag AskIOG so that we don't accidentally read your private, endearing messages. Garrett, all that out of the way, we should get to these questions, I think.
Garrett, you could say that our lacking content is equivalent to the lacking amount of questions in the Discord.
Possibly.
Yeah. So maybe it's everyone's fault that the content isn't where it should be.
It's definitely our fault.
Is that a stretch?
It's very much our fault. I take full responsibility.
I'm trying to blame other people.
I take full responsibility for the lack of content because I'm the only person who edits our content, which is fine. But,
it doesn't have to be that way. It's just what we do.
I would love. I mean, I have time this week to stream if I wanted to in the mornings. It takes a lot of discipline. I'd have to tweak some things, but I'm open to.
You should only do it if you want to do it.
There's a part of me that wants to. I just have to run a couple test runs and get back to how I used to do it because I'm in a brand new setting now. It's not that hard, but I have to make sure the Streamlabs is still functioning properly and everything. But I might do that as a surprise this week. I might get 1 or 2 viewers. We'll see.
I'm sure more than that would check you out.
I don't know, but content, we're going to focus on new games, of course. And of course, I'm sure we'll get plenty of news towards the end of the summer going into the fall. And maybe even Preston and I will do a little something for Gears 5 beta. We'll see. I'd like to record a little of that, I think.
Oh, yeah. Little disclaimer on the Gears beta. I was incorrect. Yeah. You can begin the download tomorrow. You can play it on Friday.
Okay, cool. That's good to know.
I think Friday through the weekend you can play it.
Sweet. All right.
So yes.
Yeah, I need to remind myself to download that then tomorrow because I would love to participate. Is this a multiplayer beta?
It is, yes.
Okay. I assume, is it just escape or is it like full on multiplayer, like competitive stuff?
I bet you it's the new mode.
It is. There's a bunch of crap. No, it's like a multiplayer mode. It's not a escape. It's not.
I did not hear too many positive reactions to escape.
Yeah, it just looks meh.
Yeah. I mean, I think everything surrounding Gears 5 right now seems pretty meh, and I hope I'm wrong about that.
I mean, I looked at the beta. I looked at the trailer for the beta. It looks like Gears of War. Like, that's
no surprise.
Yeah, like it doesn't look any different at all. So maybe we're wrong. Maybe it's super badass or something. I don't know.
I certainly hope so. It's gonna like you said. I think someone already said it's just a total shotgun fest still, which is so disappointing.
Yep.
If only someone aligned with my thoughts in saying the shotgun, after all this time, deserves to be a power weapon similar to Halo, where when you pick up a shotgun in Halo or a rocket launcher, like it changes the fundamental tide of the match. If someone's effective with that weapon, it can completely turn a match around. And the shotgun has dominated Gears multiplayer forever. I mean, like Preston and I were talking earlier, the closest they ever came to overcoming that was in Gears 3, where they really upped the damage of the Lancer, which that's always been my dream, is just to play Gears like you can in the campaign, where you take cover and you shoot enemies like that. That's always the most fun to me. And of course, me and Preston took advantage of the sawed-off double-barrel shotgun in Gears 3. It was a lot of fun to blind fire on corners and just obliterate people. But the shotguns, don't get me wrong, they're fun. But when everyone in the match is just running around shotgunning each other, it gets old. And that we've talked about this in the channel countless times. But I've always wanted to see that really like strong evolution of Gears gameplay. And if shotguns are going to dominate it again, I mean, at the end of the day, sure, more Gears. I'm sure people enjoy it. But as far as like a longtime Gears fan since the beginning, I would, at this point, like, especially like, I don't know what they're doing with Halo Infinite. It's got to be something drastic. I would hope it is at this point. But same thing with Gears. I think, like Preston and I were talking, I think even the marketing is a sign that mid-development, they probably realize, like, you know what? Like, this is missing something fresh.
Either that or Microsoft doesn't believe in it like it does other things.
Maybe. Yeah, that could be the case. I don't know.
Because they're the publisher. I mean, they're throwing the money at it to for the advertising and the marketing.
I mean, I'm gonna play it. I mean, I'm invested at this point. I might as well play it.
Yeah, and I guess part of me wants to see how that story pans out too.
Yeah,
even if you're not as invested as you were in the previous original 3.
And again, I hope I'm wrong. I hope Preston and I jump into the beta this weekend. I hope it like blows our minds.
Yeah, I hope it does too. I want Gears to succeed, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't want a game to be bad.
And Preston said he cross-played with some Xbox players not too long ago, and he said he just destroyed everyone. It's like controller versus mouse and keyboard is like non-comparable as far as a competitive multiplayer match.
It's cool that there's crossplay in Gears 4.
Mm-hmm. It's good for us on PC. Yeah. Hopefully I can capitalize on that.
Playing with a controller. What a joke.
Yeah. Preston, anything you want to say about Gears before jumping into these community questions?
I guess we'll have more to say about it next week after we dabble in it.
We certainly will.
Yeah.
All that being said, Ace of Spades is back, and he writes in and says, "Hello, Father Garrett, sexy Grandpa Alka, and Ghost Preston." Well, Preston is back in the flesh. Well, over Skype, but he is back nonetheless. That is his real voice you're hearing. It's not an AI that we created because we miss him so dearly. And Zach, the sexy man, if he's back. But he's not, unfortunately. We miss him to bits.
Let's keep him gone.
If it wasn't so late, I'd call him, but he is a married man, and he has a lot going on. So I'm not going to disrupt his slumber. I wish he could be back every week, though. I talked to him. I mean, it's easy to give him a mic and a cheap mixer for him to join us. If we like plan it out like well in advance, it's not that hard to get him to join us on Skype like Preston does. I'd love that. I'm going to talk to him more about that. Yeah, I'm sure the community would like that too, because everyone seems to like Zach. I love Zach on the podcast. I think that fourth dynamic is really fun a lot of the times.
Sure.
Anyway, he says, all of you pitch a big idea, from content, updates, new things to your favorite current game, or even some memorable games from bosses, weapons, textured areas, and more. Me, I'd like to have Hunt Showdown make a high-wind rainstorm map for the fact that Louisiana is known for flash flooding and storms. This makes it difficult for players to hear and makes the experience more intense when being in the dark. Knowing nothing of your surroundings of sound, having to traverse into flooded buildings, destroyed nature, etc. High winds and the monsters are more aggressive than ever because of the agitation of weather, making you not the hunter with confidence and thoughts anymore, but the prey being hunted when finding the boss. Love you, Dad Garrett and Grandpa and second Dad Alka. Stay meaty and spicy. Always.
Thank you.
Let me first say, before we pitch our respective ideas, that Ace, your seemingly growing passion for Hunt has me so excited. Few people share my sentiment about the game. Don't worry, I'm not going to ramble. I have not downloaded it on Xbox as it's on sale right now. I think it's like $23, but as often as I play on PC and how rarely I would play on Xbox, I don't think I'm quite willing to pay that price at the moment. So I hate to say that because I do want to play with you because no one else. I know Boggle likes the game too, and Boggle and I haven't played together in a while, but no one else seems to want to play with me very often. And I know you and I have talked about it. I'd still love to do that with you, but I'm talking to Jacob right now in case anyone's an audio listener.
I'm still willing to do that,
but I love your excitement and your enthusiasm to think of ideas like I have certainly in the past. And I like how I always had thought about like a phantom, like witch-like entity boss would fit into the game really well. And that's sort of what they did with the assassin boss, which is pretty cool. But I love the idea of like weather effects in the game. I think my favorite time of day to play is night always. I think that's always when it's the scariest. It's always when the stakes feel highest because you can be especially stealthy at night. And just the way Crytek's and the Cry engine, the lighting in the game is just so beautiful. Like the glow of burning flames and like the moonlight and how it casts shadows through like cracks in buildings and stuff is so beautiful. And just makes it especially eerie. That's always my favorite experience in Hunt. So I love the idea of like a rainstorm, like a hurricane in Louisiana would be really, really cool.
Yeah.
And that game already struggles for many people as is because I play on low and maintain like a rough, like 120 frames. And I could play on high, but I range like between like 50 and 60 frames on high, and it looks so beautiful on high, but I'd rather just have that steady frame rate. But adding weather effects on top of everything else that's going on, I could see it being a struggle for most people. But as far as ideas, I love that idea. I've always loved like maps having different looks and feels, and like the times of day help, but weather effects especially could be really cool. Yeah. Like you said, like muffling sound and stuff would make it really interesting too. So
for sure,
I love that idea. You guys have any ideas to pitch for anything you love or would like to see before I think of some ideas myself?
Preston, do you have yours?
Have my what?
Your idea?
No.
These are the kind of questions I like to prepare for in advance, and I did not proofread this, unfortunately, beforehand. I apologize. There's got to be something I want to see.
I fell asleep. What was the question?
You want to pitch?
Did you really?
Yeah, I did. I kind of dozed off for a second.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
So he wants us to pitch anything we'd like to see as an addition to games we love, whether it be a game mode or some type of experience. His idea was adding like cool weather effects to Hunt Showdown.
Let's make Sword and Shield more like Tim Tim.
Okay.
That sounds good.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Jacob?
I'm going to talk about Apex. Shocker. Which Battlefield was it where it had like real-time events? Was that 4 or 5? Not 5. Was it 4 where... Wasn't there like a map in Battlefield that had like a flooding? Like if you... Like I know there was destructible buildings.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what that was. I know what you're talking about.
I think something like... I know this is probably going to be really hard to put this kind of technology into a battle royale, but like having something like that happen live while you're in a match... Can you just imagine like a big dam like just breaking by a player blowing it up and then like it completely changing a portion of the map mid-match? Mm-hmm. Like I don't think that's possible right now.
I mean, I think that was in Battlefield 4.
I want to say 4.
I'm pretty sure it was 4.
Because it wasn't 3 because we played 3 a lot back in the day and it was pretty, standard.
It wasn't Battlefield 1. It was definitely Battlefield 4,
yeah,
I think.
I don't remember it in 1.
I remember seeing like armored naval ships on that map and stuff.
I know when 4 came out, it was all about, destructible environments. So it had to have been 4. Mm-hmm. But just like it doesn't have to be just floods. It could be anything. Like, you shoot one of the big Leviathans on the map that are like on the map right now, those huge things. And, you shoot them or you do something like, you trigger a reaction for them somehow and then they like move somewhere or they're like rampage a building. I don't know. But just stuff like that, I think could really add a lot of excitement to a game like Apex, which, it had a lot of good changes this season, but I think people were expecting a little more when they saw the trailers of the Leviathans actually walking on the map. That would have been actually cool to see something like that. Yeah. But I understand that that's probably not something feasible right now, but maybe in the future.
Yeah.
That's something I'd really love to see.
Trying to think of something I would like to see. I won't think about it too hard for too long to bore people to death.
And I think going back to what I just said, I think Fortnite does cool stuff with like live events. Like they don't necessarily like affect the gameplay, but they like foretell how the map's going to change or something like that. Like you can literally get into a lobby and see like a rocket ship go into space or something like that. Or they've had several events. Like everyone knows about these, but
yeah.
Just something like that in Apex I'd love to see.
Man. I don't know.
It's okay.
Because that's the thing. I think about ideas like this just randomly when I'm bored all the time. And of course, when I'm actually confronted about it, I can't think of anything.
Sounds like you're a phony.
Yeah. I think I kind of already stated what I'd like to see changes come to Gears. I think the simple act of making the shotgun a power weapon on each map would completely change the way people play that game. Mm-hmm. And I've always wanted that as a Gears player, which is a shame because I think that game could be so much more. And that one fundamental change could change so much about the game. And that's like not that big of a deal. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, of course, people probably think of like, oh, like, I don't know. I'm not a developer, so I'm sure they've dabbled with ideas or discussions about what base mechanics can we add like to the player? Like what abilities can we add to mix it up or what can we do to map design to mix it up? Like I've never ever really had complaints about the base mechanics, like cover system, the dodge system, and the I think they call it the roadie run or whatever when you sprint in the game. And map design has always been pretty solid too. I've never had complaints about that. It's just how people run around with shotguns constantly, which I've had fun with in the past. I won't deny it. But once you play 4 games of just shotguns and multiplayer, it gets pretty old after a while.
I think that's just the point. I think it just is a shotgun game. They've doubled down on it. Yeah. That's just what Gears multiplayer is.
Yeah, I guess no one else wants like that cover-based action experience and multiplayer.
I've never heard anybody like campaign for it besides us.
Yeah. I think it's because Cliffy B always pitched the game as a cover-based third-person shooter, and it was like revolutionary for the time as far as cover-based shooters.
Yeah, well, look where he is now, Garrett.
Yeah. Well, he was on top of the world for a while. Gears 1 through 3.
Radical Heights could have been cool. Just want to say.
It's a shame because Apex is like dropped out of nowhere, similar to Radical Heights. And granted, they've been working on Apex for a while, but just I can't even imagine how much more.
There's a lot more money back in that project.
Yeah, I can't imagine how much more it stings to like release Radical Heights that totally tank and kill your company, and then see Apex come out and just be killer.
Wasn't Radical Heights like a made to save the company?
Yeah, Radical Heights.
It was a last attempt.
It was already dead. Radical Heights was just like the final like attempt to save.
It's like, how can we make a lot of money really quick?
Yeah.
It's a shame because Preston and I stand by this. Lawbreakers is solid.
Yeah, Lawbreakers.
I really enjoyed playing
solid.
That game.
Yeah, it's just a shame it came out when it did. Had it come out around the time of Overwatch, it would probably been far more popular.
I don't know why I stopped playing it. I don't know. There was a lot of negative press around the game, for sure.
All the criticism. I mean, all the critics gave it decent reviews.
I gave it a very high review. Granted, that was one of the first reviews I did. So
it never seemed like
I was a little lenient.
It never seemed like the player base was there. I don't know.
I mean, I think at launch, it was pretty small, but it dwindled very quickly.
It fell off big time. Like I think there was like less than 100 people playing it at one point.
I think maybe if they did something similar to what EA did, maybe like on a smaller scale in terms of like when Apex Legends, like the day it launched, they paid all these content creators. Like apparently, like Ninja apparently made $1 million for playing this game.
Yeah, well, they had Apex Legends like. They created that like with all the time they needed, just in a complete vacuum, like in secrecy. Sure, and they had people come and like before that big stream explosion, they had like people play it, and they had like an entire campaign set up like for that game to launch. Whereas Radical Heights was just like go, like get it out as fast as humanly possible. Yeah. So they did not have time. They for sure. It was. We have to put this out now, or like we're 1,000% done.
Yeah. And I meant that in the sense that like Respawn had all that time and all those resources to create that, whereas it was like a last ditch effort for Lawbreakers. What was this? Boss Key.
Yeah.
It's just got to suck to be like, man, had only we focused all of our time and effort on like a battle royale. Not that they knew any better, because battle royale exploded probably in the midst of them finishing up development on Lawbreakers. And like it's just really bad timing.
Yeah, my point was more so just saying like with Lawbreakers, if they would have like advertised in a different way, maybe it would have been more successful. You could say that about anything though. Mm-hmm. Like if this flavor of Diet Coke was advertised better, maybe it would have sold more.
There was a pretty strong marketing push for that for a little while. I know it was the talk of town, not really talk of the town, but it was relevant. Like
I remember seeing commercials
before it came out. I think it was 2017, and like people were hyping up. It's funny. It's funny now, but Krobcat's Lawbreakers video is hysterical, but it shows that there was a lot of hype, moderate hype surrounding the game, and people being pretty buzzed about it. And then I was interested too before I even played it.
I think the biggest problem was it was very comparable to Overwatch, and
undeniably, yeah. And they tried to paint it differently, but like no one could deny the comparisons. Like it was too similar.
And what was that other game? Battleborn
from Gearbox.
Yeah. I bought that at Five Below for $5.
Wow. Man, that's incredible.
Never opened it. Still
I remember we did a video on Battleborn. You remember that?
I remember it. It was the alpha or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to get this for sure.
Dude, that game did have a massively like dedicated community that did play it.
Mm-hmm. It was fun.
Like hardcore Gearbox fans wanting it to survive.
I actually enjoyed that game. It was cool, but I don't know. Not cool enough to buy, obviously.
Cool.
I'm excited for Borderlands 3. Looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it does look cool.
Talking about Borderlands.
Gearbox.
Oh, Gearbox.
I'm sorry, Ace, man. I think about ideas all the time. But at this current time and place, late at night, I got nothing aside from my idea for Gears.
Let's move on to our last question.
Yeah, let's do that.
Some of us are falling asleep.
Yeah. Last one's from Scarlet Speedster Sam Harris. Writes in and says, "Gentlemen, the IOG Masters reboot will return next week, and this time things will get personal."
I'm excited.
I'm excited too. In the meantime, here's my question. What is your most surprising moment in gaming? Here's an example, a classic if you will. At the end of Metroid 1 for the NES, Samus was revealed to be a woman underneath that armor, and it was one of the first times games gave consumers a nice surprise for finishing the adventure. What was, in your opinion, the most surprising reveal in a game? Spoilers are welcome. Have a great week.
Oh, this is so tough.
I'll read his preview after we talk about surprises. I know I've had
biggest
some.
surprise in a game. Oh man.
The only one that I can think of is a massive spoiler.
Yeah, these are all spoilers. That's a.
I'm gonna say it though. It's been out for forever. Well, I don't know. We all three of us have beaten it. Spoilers for BioShock Infinite. But
yeah,
when you were revealed as Comstock the entire time at the very end, like where he says it as Elizabeth Dunk baptizes you, that
epic.
That blew my freaking mind.
I'm both.
Yeah, that
so
part
good.
is so freaking awesome. That's probably the biggest surprise.
Also, that game fascinates me what it was supposed to be too. Have you seen like the documentary about Infinite?
Yeah. I think Crowcab, again, he has a really interesting video about it, kind of showing gameplay as that game went through.
What was it supposed to be?
I think it had a lot to do with the world and like the design and like gameplay elements they had to strip out and stuff.
That still to this day is one of my favorite worlds. I love
Columbia.
Yeah, that game gets a lot of hate on it.
Oh man, you gotta play them.
For some reason.
Now, I could play through BioShock 1 right now and probably love every second of it if I played through it.
Yeah, I want to play it. It's on the top of my backlog.
BioShock 2 is heavily underrated. Mm-hmm. It's not made by the same team that did Warner or the Irrational. I think it's like 2K Sub Australia or something like that, but it is still an extremely good BioShock game. And it has...
I have the collection on PS4.
It has its DLC as well. Minerva's Den is regarded as some of the best DLC ever. It's really solid too.
That's high claim. High praise.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't give it that.
Stuff.
I've just seen that. I haven't fully completed Minerva's Den, but I think I've gone like halfway through it, and it is really good for what I played. But yeah, that game doesn't... BioShock 2 and what's it called? Infinite, I think, get kind of a little shade just because BioShock 1 is such like an iconic game, but
for sure
I do really enjoy those other two as well.
I think spoiler alert for Batman Arkham Knight, by the way, I think I speak for all of us when I say I was totally shocked by the reveal of Jason Todd being Arkham Knight. That rocked my world, dude. I think it shocked the entire planet.
Yeah.
Like no one called that. Like no one even predicted that once. Like it was fascinating to me that they pulled that off so effectively.
For sure.
And it resonates with me to this day. And because of that, I certainly hope they're not working on another Batman title because they would soil their perfect trilogy. I have no doubt in my mind they're working on some sort of Batman title at Rocksteady at this point. I'm confident in saying that at this point because I think, like we said 1,000 times, they know as strong as Arkham Knight was, there's a lot of issues with that game. Mm-hmm. And we addressed that in depth on this podcast years ago. Like we talked about that extensively because we were real passionate about the Arkham franchise. So I think they're going to make up for that in whatever Batman title they're doing next.
Yeah, I played through Arkham Knight fairly recently, a few months ago, and I got about 3/4 of the way through. And I was having a lot of fun. Like even with those issues, like it's still like a extremely solid game because I played about halfway through Origins before I hopped into Night, and just the small changes they made to combat and just the responsiveness of everything, like it feels amazing compared to the older ones. I'm actually very interested in playing through Arkham Asylum again.
Yeah. I still love that game to this day.
Yeah, I played it way back in the day on 360. That's the one. I think that one, and I've beaten Origins twice, and I've beaten City several times. Like I have
me
beaten
too.
That
I've beaten
one.
City like 5 or 6 times.
Yeah, and I've beaten Arkham Knight, I guess, like 1.5 times. But I only touched Arkham Asylum one time, and that was forever ago. So I have been feeling once they announced like that trilogy was coming to PS4, I already know it's on PS before, but it just kind of being in the news sparked interest to go back to that game.
Mm-hmm. And that's got to be intentional too. Like that's got to be like a hint of something, some sort of reveal. Hopefully coming by the end of the year. Maybe not.
I'm all
like
for
they wouldn't
like
just release that just to release it. I don't think.
I'm all for like take your time and stuff, but man, it's getting to be just like, all right, like. Can you just, I think I've already talked about this before, but secrecy in the game industry irritates me. It's like people act like these are freaking like hidden CIA documents and stuff. It's like, tell us what the hell are you working on? Like, come on, it's ridiculous.
Because everyone wants to control that headline and they want it to be a huge moment for them. I get it, but yeah, it is frustrating.
I like the hype of that secrecy can generate, but it does get to a point where it gets a little frustrating. I mean, Rocksteady's been under wraps for a while now. I mean, how many E3? I think it's been 3 E3s in a row they haven't shown up at all. Which again, I mean, it's not like they're like they're pretty tentpole at this point. I mean, they're a pretty big deal. I mean, they're not like Naughty Dog or anything like that.
They must have struggled at some portion of development, maybe like restarting. Or,
I know they've been hiring people even up until like a few months ago. So I don't know. I'm hiring for, of course, very specific roles, but I mean, even Naughty Dog hired recently to kind of wrap up the development of Last of Us. So I mean, I'm sure studios are always hiring for specific needs, even if it's like contract employees, like for temporary needs on games. But I hope we see something from Rocksteady soon. And I think it's obvious they're doing Batman if they re-release this trilogy. So obviously that's probably a big WB thing push as well, but that's got to be a marketing ploy of some sort.
Maybe that team went out for some drinks with the old Kingdom Hearts 3 and Final Fantasy 15 team, and maybe they got the idea of maybe they need like 10 years to make their game.
Possibly.
Who knows?
Yeah.
I hope that. I trust that whatever they're doing is really awesome. Like I have the utmost faith in Rocksteady.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of go back and forth. It's just like I understand about the hype, or just like, okay, let's say they announce it now, but it's still not coming out for like another year. Like, why announce it?
Right.
So I understand the arguments, but it like kind of gets to a point that kind of like Fallout 4 got to, where it's just like there's so much chatter. It's just like, okay, like you have to acknowledge that this is happening, or like we're gonna go insane. Like, you just at least give us a hint or something. And that's kind of like the point that it's gotten with the Rocksteady. It's just like, for the love of God, just at least say that what you're kind of doing. Yeah. So.
And there have been rumors, but of course no one knows for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I would be shocked. I hope there's Arkham World. I hope that name isn't right, because that is stupid. But those rumors about controlling the different characters and stuff, I hope that is true, because that rumor or leak or whatever it was sounded freaking awesome.
100%.
So, is there any more questions, Garrett?
I don't really have a good answer. We got to do
Sam's PS statement here.
There was like a moment in God of War PS4 that was like really surprising to me, but I don't want to say it because it's a spoiler.
Don't spoil that. The ending of that.
Yeah, that one's a little fresh.
Yeah.
It's a ripe spoiler.
Yeah. I don't really have any good ones though.
Oh, there were 2 moments in that game that surprised me for sure.
Mm-hmm. Well, Sam wraps it up and says, here's the preview for the IOG Masters and the search for Pugh. Perfect timing. Drake grabbed the small gnomish druid by the scruff of their neck and held them over the face of the towering cliff with a fury unbeknownst to Alka. Fiery rage lit up the usually calm and collected rogue, but recent events had put him on edge. Where is the necromancer? Drake barked at the shivering druid as their feet dangled above the near 300-foot chasm below. Well, who did I bark at? The shivering druid.
Yes.
Well, that's good to know. I shook it out of him because we discovered Preston. And
is that the prelude?
To him for the last 2 hours. That's the prelude.
To the tale.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited for that. It sounds thrilling.
Yeah.
Thank you for the time you invest in this question, Sam. I apologize for leaving you behind on the previous iteration of our medieval tale, but we will not fail you on the reboot. You have my word. Reboot. Well, boys, I think that's going to wrap up 207 to late night. Preston, I know you've already fallen asleep at least once.
I'm running out of steam, too.
Jacob's fallen asleep. I'm amped off this coffee, and I got to edit this podcast tonight, so I'm ready to rumble.
Yeah, I got a long drive.
Yeah, I'm glad we could speak this evening, gentlemen.
Yes.
Yeah, it was fun doing this.
Likewise.
It's nice to do this in person again.
Yeah, I'm glad to have you, Jacob. You're welcome anytime. Please call me on Thursday for lunch.
I will.
Let me know in advance.
I promise you that I will.
Cool. I appreciate that.
Yeah. It's always great doing this in person because, as I'm sure Preston is experiencing right now, it's hard to know when you can kind of jump in and because you can't really see those visual cues.
Yeah. One of these days, the 3 of us will be on camera again. I need that desperately. I miss
hope so.
So it's tricky. We all live.
Hopefully, we have
incredibly far apart from each other.
Right. Hopefully, we have a better seating arrangement than
this is awful. That's why I asked you to bring a chair. I know it was too late when I sent you that, but
that's my fault.
Next time.
Yeah.
So hopefully you can walk after sitting in that.
Yeah. I'm very hot.
Yeah. I turned off the air.
There'll never be something where I'm not hot when I'm on camera. Like every time I'm on camera, I'm sweating. It sucks.
Mm-hmm. Even when you're streaming, I bet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Preston, you want to sign us out here?
Oh, yeah. That was the It's Obvious podcast, the show where we talk about stuff and a little bit of video games. Please subscribe to us over at youtube.com/ItsObviousGaming. Get us on the Apple podcasting app, Spotify, Google Play, all that good stuff. Check us out at our Discord channel as well. All that stuff's down in the description. I think that'll do it for episode 207. We greatly appreciate everybody that's supporting us through all these times of us putting up videos sporadically, me not being able to make an appearance for almost like 6 months, and all of that stuff. So everybody that continues to chat in our Discord or stay active with our podcast, I know I greatly appreciate it, and the other gentlemen do as well. So thank you so much.
Shout out real quick to Zach Bynum, who is officially on our Discord as Ricky Pringus IOG. If you want to talk to Zach, he's on there. I'm sure he'd love to hear from you. But yeah.
Sounds good.
Preston, great to have you back, my friend.
Yes, sir.
And I look forward to playing some games with you this week. And
hey, I'll get to see you again this week. That's cool.
You will?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Thursday?
What's happening Thursday again?
A small group?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah, I was blanking there for a second. I'm getting tired myself. I mean, I feel like I have energy, but as soon as I like sit down and like let someone else talk, I realize that I'm dwindling myself. Gentlemen, honor and pleasure as always. Again, like Preston said, thank you to everyone who tuned in and your continued support. We love you to bits, and we'll catch you again next week.
Bye-bye. Goodbye.